right, and a good morning to you. We are so glad that you've tuned in. This is hashtag Grow in the Morning. Today is all about entrepreneurship and innovations, and so we have an amazing show lined up for you. And first things first, we are asking you to interact with us on X, Insta, and the rest, and let us know where you're watching us from. My good name is Brian Sanko. I'm not alone. I'm alongside my Costa, and in just a bit before she introduces herself, we are loading a question of the day that she'll be pointing out in just a bit. But at Brian Sanko on one. 244 channels, how you can find us. And good morning to you, Steph. How are you?
Good morning, Sako. How are you this morning? I'm great.
I'm fantastic. Me too. Yeah.
Awesome. So I hope you're fine too. And I'm all excited about today. As you know, my name is Stephanie Ayata, and we have an amazing conversation coming up. So you are rightly tuned in. I want to give you a hint of it, but maybe later on. Let me first read the question of the day that we want you to comment on our social platforms. That's at Y254 channel. The hashtag, please use Y in the morning. And the question you're asking is, interesting. Inaguza kila mtu, I think. Ni pesa ngapi ushaipea mtu na hajawahi kurudishia? Interesting, huh?
Okay.
Ni pesa ngapi ushaipea mtu na hajawahi kurudishia? Talk to us. Inauma. I'm sure this mambo ya pesa inakuanga deep seated. Inauma.
Too personal.
Yeah,
it's
so
beyond, personal.
Watu watuambie. So how much have you ever given out?
Me, maybe I've been given. Yes, I think I have a lot because I have friends who like anaweza kupea pesa bro nitakurudishia end month, but then your end month inafika and you just assume nothing happened, and because you're friends, so it's rubbed under the rug. It's like, Sako, you're my buddy, forget that. So for me, if my friends were to, if he was to actually claim back the money that he's ever helped me, I think maybe, I don't know, I'll be unable to pay. They'll tell you Sako is unable to come to work because he's been held hostage somewhere. But yeah. For me, I think a lot to my friend, yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
But your friend, when like he's able to help, not that he's helping you so that you pay him back. So unanirudishia nini anyways, and you're my buddy, so
wow.
Yeah, so if I want to pay back, so utasikia mteja nambari hakuji kazi leo.
Yeah, that's quite something. I think for me, I have many. Hata sijui nitaanzia wapi. I have many. Honestly, nikianza kuhesabu watu wako na deni zangu, I would do an Excel sheet. Nifanye follow-ups because it's a lot. I think the most recent would be, I think, 20K is what someone owes me.
Wow, that's a lot. 20K. Do you know how many dollars are those? It's probably $100 and something, US dollars and something.
Yeah.
But
we move on regardless.
Look at you.
We move on regardless.
Yeah? Well, me be calling the DCI on you. You have my $150 and you're not even telling me.
DCI, please take this person.
Acha tuandikishe hiyo kesi hapo to Kiambu Road kidogo. But anyways, tell us how much,
How much have you given?
Do you owe, or are you owed, to someone?
Tell us about it.
Paid back, yeah. But away from that, Steph, the KPSEA exams kicked off yesterday, and a concern has been raised. They're saying scale down police presence as KPSEA exams kick off nationwide. 1.3 million grade 6 learners take tests. And just part of the things you need to know. The KPSEA is organized in two parts: the formative and the summative. The formative assessment is school-based and is weighted at 60% in every learning area. The learners have already completed this and were marked by the respective teachers, who then submitted the marks to the Kenya National Examination Council, that is NEC. And a total of 1.3 million learners in grade 6 started their Kenya Primary School Education Assessment KPSEA on Monday throughout the country. And unlike past national exams, the government has scaled down police presence inside the classrooms this is according to Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Ogamba, said the security officers will only escort the materials to schools, but should not enter the classrooms. This is an attempt to create a relaxed environment for the learners. So I think I watched part of the news bite yesterday. The kids who are sitting for the KEPSEA, they're very tiny, you know. It's like one of them looked like he's 6, you know. So they're very tiny. But then also the concern is scale down police presence, because also why are you mounting, you know, heavy presence of, you know, police officers surrounding just kids?
Kids, you don't want to intimidate kids. So
and scare them, yeah?
yeah, they'd feel, you know, you'd fail an exam because you're worried, you know, the police, you know, it's not the environment you're used to. So it'll be good if they have indeed scaled down their police presence and just leave them to bring the examination na wakae huko nje, you know. I think that would be fair enough.
Yeah, but then is it possible, I don't know if I'd like to pick your mindset on it. Is it possible to pick up what is it called, cheating, irregularity in these small kids? Have they started yet learning how to carry a Mwakenya or a mobile phone or something?
They would be.
Because it's from grade 6, right? Grade 6. Do
Yeah,
grade
it's
6
grade 6.
pupils teach?
Yeah.
Cheat rather. Teach,
No.
cheat.
No, they don't. Tongue twister. So
Teach, cheat, yeah.
I honestly don't think I have so much faith in this young kid. They're so innocent.
Yeah.
Though I know some are not. You know, back when I was in primary, kulikuwa na two notorious guys. Even in grade 5, you know, you'd find those that are too notorious. But honestly speaking, I can't remember us even cheating on during
Grade 6,
examinations, even class 8 exams. You know, so I don't think that they would really cheat in this particular exam.
But class 8, it's possible. Because of course, you know, Steph, you know, you're not doing it like the high school where you're calculating and showing the formula of how you arrived at solving the first equation to the last answer. Here is you just do the calculations and you tick, right? But then there's a place where they have a workout where there's a question and then the working areas. Do they mark that as well nowadays?
No, I don't think they did.
In our time they did,
No,
they never used to mark the working area.
It was just,
so you were just to
the working area was just to help you with that exam.
Nipate kila kitu.
But the good thing is that you can't even copy because ujui inakuja nini, ujui A itakuwa nini, B itakuwa nini. So the only copying you can do is peep on
Peep
your
to the
neighbor.
Next neighbor who definitely knows the answer or don't know the answer. Yeah. So you can also copy wrong answers and tick.
Yeah, and tick the wrong thing.
Oh my
so
goodness.
that's the danger. But honestly, I don't think we would get cases of cheating, irregularities in grade 6, not this one. Plus, there's no pressure.
Usishangae. Don't be shocked.
I hope they don't prove me wrong.
Especially in the rural areas, you know. People in the rural areas sometimes are daring. And you know, exams are taken really seriously. It's like a life sentence, a death sentence, especially in the rural areas where your parents are telling you, usipopita hiyo, uende hata high school, jua tu wewe ndio kwanza kwa hii familia, you know. I'd hate that, you know, I'd hate that being told if you don't make it, then
you'd have failed. But you know, with KEPSEA, I don't think it's that big of a deal because unajua they're not marking on it's not on number 1, number 2, you know, it's only your grade taking you to the next. So hakuna, there won't be, oh, this one was number 1, this one got this number of marks, this number, no. So it's just an assessment, and it's not just that, it's also what they've been learning throughout. So yeah, I don't.
So after that, where they're going to next? But I think I need to read about CBC very well. I think you've heard enough interviews about STEM and whatnot. So I'll make use of that. Yeah.
So after that, they go to junior high, and that's where they go to grade 7. Now grade 7.
Junior high, grade 7.
No, grade 7 is junior high.
Junior high, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So they graduate to junior high.
Right.
Now, in grade 7 is where we have the pioneers of the CBC who are currently there.
Yeah.
So they're supposed to. Now the government has not really given a way forward, like a clear way forward on how they're going to move from where they are, because ideally they were to move to high school,
Yeah.
because the high schools have the equipment, the laboratory, because at this point they're going to use labs and and all that. And the idea was to have high schools being um, specific on what they are offering. So would have schools of sciences, like let's say Maseno School of Science and Technology kind of high school. Would have
Yeah.
another for arts, so we'd have, let's say, Buruburu Girls School of Arts and humanities. And then now the other category was sports, and sports, yeah. So would have, let's say, what school? Let's say Ofafa Jericho School of Sports and what?
Yeah.
And how many categories are those? Those are three categories.
Mm.
It's science, arts, sports. I'm not sure if there was another. So basically, the high schools were to be given specific areas that they're good at. So let's say if Alliance is known for sciences.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not really known for sciences, but we know Alliance is one of the national schools that are there. So you'd find that they'd have all the good equipments in the laboratory and all. So it will be a good school for science. And then you'd get a school which has a good field and the facilities, bake, nini. So that school would be a school for sports. So your child would go to study in an area that they want to specialize in. So hakuna mambo mingi, usome vitu mingi, unaenda kusoma kitu una specialize. If you're good in arts, then you go and just do arts.
Do arts, yeah.
And
But purely arts.
and so now things are not as clear, because
Right.
what is being said is that they will now be domiciled in primary schools, but you would get that the primary schools do not have even the classes for grade 8. Zimefika mwisho grade 7, and these grade 7 classes were built either, I think, last year or this year, depending on the schools. So you get that they do not have extra classes. So some schools will not even be able to host grade 8. So you wonder
Because
where
of
will
capacity.
because of capacity.
Okay.
So you wonder where the students will go come January, and is it enough time from the 2 months that are left in the year to build classes?
Yeah.
The resources there, and even if the classes are built, do they have laboratories? Because they also need to build such. And do they
Right.
have fields? And all those, are we prepared enough? So
And
that's why
the numbers are many. The
there
learners
there are
are
many, yeah.
And then there's teacher shortage now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's the problem. The other day we were talking about the intern JSS, Junior Secondary School, teachers being underpaid or not paid.
Right.
It was a whole issue. So I feel for the grade 7 parents, because honestly, ni kama nyinyi ndio testers, nyinyi ndio mtajua. Your children are the ones to sample to we see if it's working or not. And so I know this because I have my nephew in grade 7. So you see you see how it is on the
Are they still
there.
being asked to carry roasted chicken and chapati sijui imeundwa kama keki sijui ya msalaba ya nani? Are they still being asked to do those things?
So
CBC.
I don't know about roasted chickens and chapati ya msalaba, but they're doing a lot of activities in school, so they're really engaged. Like you'd get to wanajua kushona at grade 5.
Right.
You'd get grade 7.
Grade 5, they already know how to
sew.
sew.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Like the one you guys do with the sweater, the one
No,
with a needle.
Not your sweater. I don't think I'll feel like a sweater. A needle,
the
just
needle one,
when
yeah.
you,
I think the one you do with a big nini is called knitting. That one
Yeah,
is
that's
knitting, but that
knitting.
one is sewing.
yeah.
That one is more intense. It's more of like mature people. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think they'll get to that point. But even grade 7, they have activities where they're cooking in groups, and then they have to carry jiko. Oh, someone to carry jiko, someone to come with I don't know what you're cooking. So it's a whole activity.
Okay. But I hope it amounts to something, because even yesterday we talked about reformatting our education structure, so that yes, you're in high school or uni, at least you're specializing in something that's going to give you an opportunity, not just doing theory and then you graduate and then it's just selfish for TikTok and IG, but you're not getting the gig, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think CBC maybe is going to be a game changer
It
as
will
time
be,
goes by. Yeah.
hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, and still in the spirit of education. So crisis looms in universities as lecturers resume strike. They gave it till last night midnight, to Monday towards Tuesday today. And in a public university is set to resume the nationwide strike at midnight following a disagreement between the university's academic staff union OASU and the government over the implementation of the return to work formula they signed on September last month, 26. The strike is likely to disrupt learning and exams in universities. Secretary General Constantine Wesonga pointed out that disagreement that stemmed from the details of the pay deal agreed by the parties when the Dons called off a strike last month. He accused the government of mischief and insisted that they would not return to work until the money was in their account. So till today, lecturers have not been paid, Steph. Their collective bargaining agreement that they had, I think 2021 or 2027, has not been yet fully implemented. They gave it up to midnight last night.
Last night.
Yes, so probably the strike has officially begun as we speak.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. We have a problem in Kenya with strikes.
Yeah.
You know, why is it that the government does not stay true to the agreements that they sign and all that, because that's the bone of contention. The other time it was, they had agreed with the teachers, but it failed to remit the amount. When it comes to healthcare, it's still the same thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the problem is, but we're tired of strikes. Kwa uni lecturers strike unamnakasirika kwa sababu
It was your time.
because you want to finish school, especially kama unakaribia kumaliza uko third year, fourth year, maybe first years our mind because umeingia shule bado kwa raha, second years you're still there, but third years and especially fourth years, mimi nilikuwa nataka kumaliza shule. My goodness, I remember fourth year I just wanted to finish school.
And then add in COVID.
Yeah, and then COVID came during our time, so that was quite something.
Wasted time. Yeah. But
So-
anyways, we got out of those institutions and some of us are willing to go back, but somewhere else. But I just don't know. I don't know, Steph, if you'd consider going for a higher learning, let's say a master's here at the same institution you were at. If they were to offer you that option, would you still consider the same, or would you rather prefer another institution? Me, I'm going for another one because I'm so exhausted of the familiar faces, yeah? Like there's just nothing new, especially in campus, yeah?
Yeah.
Because imagine right now you've been outside here for many years, you've done your thing, you know a lot of people, but then you have to go back there? No way. Maybe another institution, I think, for that, just for that freshness, yeah?
I also think the same. Not because I have anything against my university. I really love it. Where I studied, I got some good grounding. One of the best in media, I have to brag. But I'd want to try another place because I'm up for new things, new environment. It will make you feel different.
New friends.
Nitajua nafanya masters
Yeah.
sasa because now this looks so degree for me. Then after another environment, but I know if you've for some people they're okay with doing it the same school, so it depends on the person.
And I think
For me,
those who
I'd
got
want-
maybe first class honors and you're told you have to do your masters here.
Oh,
if
yeah.
you remember,
yeah,
you have to do your masters here. Like, so is it possible I do university transfer? Because I've seen Siko Baya, but
But
just imagine you've been at that institution for like, you've done your degree, you've done your diploma, and then you have to do a master's there.
but the thing is that for what they mean by you have to do a master's, that's because the school is the one sponsoring.
Oh, it's
you.
funding part of your upkeep,
Yes.
yeah?
So the
Okay.
school is funding most of it, so there's no
so
way.
you have no choice, okay.
Yeah, you can study in another school, and then the way of you giving back is you lecturing.
As a tutor.
No, you're given is it you either a certificate or diploma. You teach a
Students, yeah.
certain unit,
Oh,
so
okay.
so
So
you
you-
give back. That's your way
You're
of paying
automatically
it.
qualified to be a
And that's how
teacher.
you start
Okay.
your career kidogo.
Absolutely.
No, it's
Si
not bad.
uongo.
Yeah.
And it's working for a lot of people.
It
And speaking
is.
of working and what's not working, so the president, His Excellency William Ruto, says, quote unquote, this is what he said: all of us, the people of Kenya, it's time that we believe in this great country God has given us. It is time that we stop the negativity. It is time that we stop believing in the fake news that's spreading around, the propaganda that is hunting our nation. There are positive elements that make Kenya stand out, and that is why we have earned a great respect globally. Uh-huh. This is what President says amid, a backdrop of noises from the abductions. The abduction stuff are just way up there. Like right now, if you were to compile stories of, like yesterday, I was watching one of the broadcasts, and around 5 stories of ladies found butchered, a man
Yeah.
found, eye gouged, another one. In fact, I think we did a commentary on TikTok last week. There's a HR manager, Wells Fargo. His name is Willis Atieno. He was a Yeko rather. He was abducted, I think, 2 weeks ago. No, last week Friday. Yes, last week Friday, and his body was found decomposed and dumped at River Yala. And they are trying to show the footage of how he was transitioning from Nairobi to attend a funeral at Gem, and then he
Yeah.
was to go to Kakamega, but he was abducted. So, from word on the street is that, probably Wells Fargo. They're saying since he's a HR manager, Wells Fargo was looking forward to send home some people due to,
Yeah.
the instability that comes, with keeping a lot of people on board, since,
Yeah.
most workspaces are literally laying off people. So they're saying that there's possibly someone big who knew that they were going home, and so they decided to organize the abduction so that they don't, get sent home. Yeah, it's a big story actually. You'll check it out, and I
It's
think it
sad.
was shocking. Yeah, I saw the video. It was covered, I think, in a couple of the mainstream stations. The family was crying. The widow was sobbing, like they were looking helpless. And I dialed back to also my personal experience with, with an abduction of my dad, and I literally like saw my whole experience also play out in the family, and the only thing you can say is, Lord, take the wheel.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's quite an unfortunate incident. It's very heartbreaking when you think about it, because why would you? It's so inhumane. Like,
Yeah.
what kind of people are there out here that want? There's a lot you can do to someone to stop them from something,
Yeah.
but take their life.
Yeah.
You can try intimidate them. You can do all sort of things, but don't take away their lives, because now you've left a widow. They've
Yeah.
left a widow, and they've left the children without a father. And it's
Yes.
not even them being left alone. It's the manner in which their father and their husband was taken.
Yeah.
It's so heartbreaking. Like, they did imagine the torture that he went
No.
through before dying, and it's so
Right.
unfortunate. I just pray that DCI will be able to find out the culprit, and
Yes.
they'll be
They'll
put
be brought to book.
they'll
Yeah.
be brought to book, put behind bars. and,
It's an intense one,
We
Steph.
condemn. Yeah, we condemn
Especially a
such.
father,
Yeah, it's so
It's
sad. I can
intense, yeah.
only imagine. It's hard to even try to get a good picture of it. But I can
Yes.
only imagine the heart that's there. So we send our condolences to the family of the late Oyeko, and to
Yeah.
all those that have had their family members abducted and not
Yeah.
come back. It's so sad, and I hope that we
Yeah.
get out of that state. As
Yeah,
a country,
absolutely.
we are really tired of abduction. Speaking of which,
Yes.
yesterday, because Maverick Aoko is one of the persons that has
Yeah.
been MIA, and
Disappeared,
people
yeah.
have been running with the hashtag Free Aoko, and so her page has been silent for 2 days until yesterday, when some
Her aide, yeah.
her aide posted them,
Yeah.
and she said that she's posting on behalf of Maverick, but has gotten permission from the father. So I don't know if it's a he or she, but
Yeah.
the aide gave a background of how things were,
Yeah.
and saying that Alco was up country with the
Yeah.
father, but was only coming back for
To Nairobi
for
for
her
meetings.
for meetings and her court cases, the hearings. So that time recently, when she came to Nairobi, she found, is it her door hinges vandalized or
Yes.
something?
Yes.
And then
true.
she panicked and called her aide, and then her aide told her to take photos and send to her and leave immediately. So she did that, and she was also told by the watchman, I think, the soldier
Yeah,
there,
and the
that
caretaker.
the caretaker, that some weird people were around, were coming around and asking about her, you know.
Yeah,
So you'd tell that people are still after her, and now her aide was asking, who do we report to? Is it the
yeah,
police who said that they're coming after her?
yes.
So it's
I think there's something she tweeted.
yeah.
I'm literally under that quote, that tweet that you're talking about on her profile. So somebody at the comment section has posted. I think this is the tweet that's behind her disappearance. So the tweet is about Farouk Kibet. Did you remember the scandal of the son and how he died? But you know, there's a way that they are close. Hey, bruh, me, I don't want to disappear. Just to cheer up. But yeah, it's
It's a
very
lot.
controversial.
It's a
Yeah.
controversial
Very
story, really,
controversial,
and
but related to somebody
so
up there.
it's it's a controversial story, and we don't really know. We only have what we have on social media, and we don't want to spread
Wow,
any
Steph,
news that's not.
I tell you, it's
that's
a
not there.
lot of exposés
Yeah, but what
on
we
this tweet, what she said. People mentioned include former KTN host Linda Agutu and the son to the man up there. I don't want to
so
mention the name.
yeah, we don't want to even get
Nasty.
to it because we
Yeah.
haven't confirmed any of this information. We don't know about it really, but what we
Yeah.
are saying is that, well, where are these people who
Going,
gets
yeah,
who get abducted,
yeah.
and if it's not abduction, then where are they?
Yeah.
So
Like
yeah, that's
arrest
something.
people, process a charge, just like Boniface Mwangi said yesterday in his release. Process a charge when you arrest someone instead of ambushing someone and then you take them
Bring
inside
them
and
in.
you come up with charges later after.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think
Okay.
it's intense. Watch out, watch your story, cause hey, we don't wanna disappear on air, appear. The way Instagram just disappears and it hangs, and hey, today they're not around because hey, we don't wanna be there. But anyway, speaking of still in that same spirit, yeah. So former member, not former, he's still lawyer, member of Parliament Mutuse compares himself to Obama and Mandela after fronting motion to impeach Deputy President Gachagua. Quote unquote, this is what he said. He said, real leaders create their own path, I believe. This is Mr. Mutuse. He says he compares himself to former POTUS, that is Barack Obama, the late anti-apartheid activist in South Africa's first president Nelson Mandela, President William Ruto, and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. Those are his idols, so he's comparing himself to those. And then he has also shared a message as a caption to a photo collage of 4 renowned leaders alongside himself, eliciting mixed reactions. So Mutuse suddenly shot to fame after his impeachment motion to remove DP President Rigathi Gachagua from office as Deputy President. He further became an internet sensation after being placed on the chopping board by Gachagua's lawyer, Mr. Elisha Ongoya, in a fiery cross-examination that happened at the Senate. I don't know, Steph, if you got a glimpse of that. The way Mr. Ongoya was on this guy's twos and ones. Like, there was no space for him to breathe. The way you're interviewed, did you do it? You're trying, no, it happened, no, did you do it?
That is
yes,
the
say
question
yes
and
or no. Thank you. And he was like he was one of those domineering guys, but then he knows the answer already, but then he's asking you the question so that you admit.
Yeah.
My prayer was
proves the
I
point.
hoped they would have won the case. It would have been a plus for Mr. Elisha, but too bad, my bad.
He did a good job.
Yeah.
I think one of the celebrities, I can't remember, I think it's Maureen, she said that was actually better than watching Suits. Suits is
Yeah.
series of lawyers and cases and all that.
Yeah.
So he made it so interesting to actually watch it. And
Yeah.
he came out on memes where
Yeah.
and they were making fun of students in universities who are dating. So
Yeah.
they had the
Yeah.
they had the question was from the girlfriend, I'm Saidiana Pesa, and then now Ongoya's picture was there as the boyfriend asking, are we both students or are we not? The girlfriend akasema, but you're my boyfriend. And then Angara came on. That is not the question I've asked you. Are we both students or are we
Yeah.
And I died. Yeah, that was a
Like
good one.
you just want a specific response, you know. Don't beat around the bush or whining around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did
So-
you drink it? No, mommy, I did not. Did you drink? You know, say it. You didn't
Yeah.
drink it,
It's a
or
very
yes.
simple question I've asked you.
Yes, you
And
did not. You know, not mommy. It happened. No, you drank
you know,
it.
you know, I was.
You
that-
know, no
did you-
explaining.
That
Say
is not
yes.
a question. Did you?
Because
Yeah.
I feel like you already know the responses. And I think he knew he was also dealing with, you know, someone who is not that smart in terms of, I'm not saying Mr. Mutuse is not smart, but in that context, he was not smart anyways. Arguing out, as lawyers are very eloquent, so you'd expect,
But
you give me
Mr.
hit, I
Mutusa-
give you more hits, you
Mr.
know.
Mutuse is a lawyer himself.
Yeah. So both of them were clashing on the same space. So you'd have expected if you shoot once, I'm shooting twice. You know, if you climb 3, I'm climbing 10. But too
You
bad.
know?
But then, anyways, he still won it on his side. So too bad for our uncle, my uncle in my head. You know the uncle I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But then I'm just seeing an update here, still on the abduction, but I think we'll get to that later. Well, there's an interesting still response to that. But away from that matters football. So yesterday the 68th Ballon d'Or Awards did happen. And they happened at the Théâtre du Châtelet. This is in Paris. This is French, okay? This is where the moment legendary Liberian footballer George Weah announced Rodrigo Hernandez as the winner of the 2024 Ballon d'Or at the 68th edition of the annual high-level football event. It recognizes most syndicated footballers and soccer stars as well across the soccer space. I can see Rodrigo Hernandez, he was named the winner of the Ballon d'Or at the 60th event. But then another sad part is Manchester United, Steph, finally, our coach is gone, you know.
Finally, why did you all want your coach to go?
Yeah, I saw that. I think I saw that because at this point, Sasa, who do you blame? Who do you blame? After all those losses and all
The
the failed
players.
seasons and not, yeah, no, it's the coach, for real.
Wait,
This was something that
But
was
this is not the
suggested in the
first-
beginning of the year.
this is
but
not the first time we've let a coach go.
Uh-huh.
Last time we let another one. Oh, Amamindo Sijuma.
No, Eric Ten Hag has been here for a minute.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I thought he was fired at some point. I don't know. Maybe I'm confusing. So now, well, we'll see if Manu will take
So
the
only
lead.
2. Okay.
If Manu will take the lead or not.
Wanasema msiguze Mrima, which is Manchester United. But he's a
Asiguze.
shortly served, you know, coach anyways.
Yeah.
Eric Seven Hag Sasata. For that matter.
Upper, actually, this newspaper, how
Yeah.
it's captured that is very interesting. They say, no more hugs for Ten Hag at Old Trafford. Oh, I
My
see
bad.
what they did there.
Uh-huh.
Hug with a U for Ten Hag, of course.
Seven Hag Tafadhali. Okay. So,
Lazima si 10.
but the current coach's name is too difficult to pronounce, but we'll get it. Anajita Ron Van Nistelrooy, named United's interim coach. He's an interim coach as akishikilia Seven Hag akienda kupumzika kwa hiyo timu ingine. So it's okay. We'll get to that shortly. Somebody says msiguza Manchester United, which is Mrima. Mrima ishaguzwa kitambo sana.
Hai, Mrima iliguzwa by the way. Wala tutadu. Tutadu.
Yeah, imeguzwa on both sides, side ya football na pia ile side
So
ingine.
the Mrima itself.
Good lord.
Well.
Hamas.
Speaking of that, we know that the deputy president has filed a petition. So let me get it. It's interesting that it's not here. And okay, I'm seeing the story that we had just touched on. So where is it? Right. So where is it? Let me try get it circle as you continue with the other stories.
All right. So there's a development on what Nandi Senator Samson Cherargei said in regards to, of course, he's the one who proposed a 7-year term for members of parliament, Anataka, okay, in office for 14 years. But then there's somebody who said it's already 2 years, na tunataka tushuke tupumzike already because we can't even handle it. So he says, this is what he says: I'm aware that many Kenyans have read my proposed Constitution Amendment Bill 2024. Also, many Kenyans, including my colleagues, have not read the entire bill. That's why there's a lot of misconceptions and fake news in the public. Others are using it to jumpstart their menopausal political careers. Okay, their careers are in menopause stage, political careers, okay? Others are using it to start their career. So let me just point to you some of the comments and how Kenyans were reacting. Another one said, "Ati menopausal political career. Why is the female gen..." Okay, that one is a little bit too sensitive in the spirit of breast cancer. Not cancer, in short, cancer awareness, since October is breast cancer awareness month. Another one said, "Cherargei is a serious disappointment to the people of Nandi and the entire country." Another one said, reject. Mwingine akasema kuhusu kichwa yake, shape ya kichwa yake. Mwingine akasema kuhusu sura. What is he saying? Insert a tool his voice. Another one said, "We should march again on the streets." Another one says, "Kwani anataka kubonga mbaya nini?" Yeah, so Senator Cherargei apparently says that a lot of people are using his proposed 7-year term bill as a motion to shine when they talk about it in the public space, when they oppose it, which he says he's helped people who are never known in the political space. At least they have something to say by opposing his 7-term proposed bill for leaders. But then I think that would call for another reject to the streets if
they
it were
to
say
try
other.
that.
Yeah.
I think they would really start something up that they were not ready for. And
Yeah.
I'm also just on the lookout if Honorable Cherargei will be re-elected come 2027. After that, as much as they're saying that has helped other MPs come to the light and use it to shine, has that made him shine himself in the positive light, or will he have something to counter it with come 2027 and change people's mind?
The public participation of it, I think, was intense here. A lot of people said no. They sent emails. Hadi zika crash. Was it the Senate? Well, people were sending emails.
It was sent to the Senate, the clerk of the Senate.
And it crashed. Kenyans are like, nope.
Yeah, we will deal with it. So the story I was looking for here, it is, so impeach DP appeals court ruling. So the national of it, so Gachagua keeps fighting in his application filed under certificate of urgency through lawyer John Jomo. Gachagua wants the court to stay the proceedings. He argues that the High Court has on several occasions ruled that the issues raised on the state petition raise enormous substantial questions of law and of great public interest. What Daily Nation reads is, impeach Deputy President. Rigathi Gachagua files petition at the Court of Appeal seeking to stop ongoing proceedings before the High Court, says he is dissatisfied with the ruling that upheld DCJ Mwilu appointments of judges to determine his ouster case.
Yeah.
So that's what's up.
Do you remember yesterday I told you it was found out that one of the judges is a former student to Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki. And the other one is related to Soipan Tuya, who's a close ally of President. And the other one is related to Speaker of the Senate, Amason Kingi. So in that whole case, I think the DP has a case to argue, because why are you putting your friends to fight against me? In short, it looks like it was an orchestrated, ouster here. So I think it's worth it being looked at. But then the good news is for the DP, just a little reprieve, is that his security was reinstated yesterday. Let me just point it out to you very fast before we move on. The government has reinstated part of the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua's security detail following his recent impeachment. Gachagua, whose Senate ousted on October 7th, now has 2 elite general service unit. Those are GSU officers assigned to guard him. The move comes after Gachagua expressed concern on October 20th about his security, stating that the withdrawal of this detail left him vulnerable while he was in hospital. In addition to his security, 2 official vehicles were returned. who used them on Sunday to, he used them rather on Sunday to attend a church service at St. James ACK Cathedral Church in Kiambu. Police officers have also been deployed to his private residence in Karen, where he had been relying on a private security firm for protection. The development was announced by Kiambu Senator Karugo Thangwa on Sunday. Gachagua, who is now discharged from hospital on October 20th, has raised concerns about the withdrawal of his staff from his residences in Karen and in Nyeri. He stated that President William Ruto should be held accountable if any harm comes to him and his family. So I think it was a heated up moment to see that when he came out of hospital. I think it was also sorrowful and pitiful to, witness a person who's branded himself as an honest man who only tells the truth, and then he's unfairly ousted and impeached, and then he's in hospital battling for his life, chest pains. I know memes who are there of chest pains. So, and then he comes out of hospital, he's surrounded by his family, his wife and 2 sons, and only close friends who believed in him. I think it painted a certain emotion that, this thing that's happening to the DP is unfair, and probably the man up there knows and is behind it, which literally Kenyans think it's true. So I don't know what you picked from Miss Dorcas Rigathi Gachagua, second lady. He was by his side, he opened the door for him, he was getting in the car. The car was not as first class concierge as the rest of these other cars that they use in their presidential ensuite. So it was an interesting happening that was going down.
Indeed, it was. Not interesting for the deputy president, of course. I think he's still in that state where he's still in deep belief. How do you'd never think, or I don't think he thought that at any point he would be impeached. That was the last of it. And his accusations also against the president, in relation to the attacks that he's had on his life, spoke a lot, and for Dorcas Gachagua, the second lady, I think she's a good, I don't know, she gave out the good wife vibes, because now when Rigiji said he was, the attempts on his life, the blogs came out and said that it's the wife, he was only eating from, the wife's kitchen. So the wife would cook. I mean, you are first lady, and you're still cooking. So that's quite something.
Remember he said he was poisoned. He was set up to be poisoned. In Kisumu. Is it in Kisumu? And Nyeri, and part of his team. So they had to stop eating
from outside.
Yes.
So that's why, the wife had to cook. So I think it's very bold for her to do that. And you'd see how she was behind him, and at some point she was crying. So you'd see a supportive wife. I think I saw a supportive wife, really.
Right.
Those people that are with you through thick and thin, and that to advise you on, you need to relax. You're going overboard. You need to do this and that. So I think she's a great, an exceptional lady.
And I think from the reactions, and from the reactions on X, where your family will always be there when you're ditched by your boss, by your job, they say family is everything. So it was, I think that painted a good movie, or a good picture. Sorry, not a movie. But here, it happened like a movie, because, the truthful man, too bad. I trust it goes on well. Now, to an interesting one before you react on it, Steph. So, digital content creator, I think we were talking about this off the air, digital content creator Melanin King has called out a local radio station for allegedly not paying hired staff and running non-existent auditions to market the company, and quote unquote, this is what he said. Some of these people who are given these jobs have never been paid and were forced to sign an anti-closure agreement, that's an NDA, which prevents them from talking about what happens in that company. And at some point, for me, I saw DJ Lizney. She disappeared. I have a close friend of mine who was hosting an R&B show on Choice Radio, which is part of the station. I saw her put out a public notice that she's no longer part of the radio station. And then after that, King Kalala, Natalie Gidinji, and the people that you are making. And at some point they were saying, was that a podcast or a radio station, because of the stunts that they do and then the things they say on air. At some point they were even called out by the Communication Authority of Kenya and even Ezekiel Mutua.
Yeah.
So phew, they have not
I
been
think
able to pay people after they
their
did
staff.
a mass audition. Like they
Ooh.
scammed people. To be honest, digital scamming is real.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
For these people to quit, it means they've not really legitimately been paid.
Yeah.
And you'd wonder, I don't know, if the question was that, are they really a podcast or a radio station? Then it shows the importance of upholding ethics well
Yeah.
in media, and that helps you with some level of credibility.
Yes.
And as much as you'd attract people out of Kiki and all that drama, but how you maintain people
Like
is
the
actually
ethics
being
of editorial.
yeah, it's actually being ethical and practicing
Yeah.
journalism to its core at its best. So, well, sad for the company, and I feel for the employees who have left and
But
those
then
who are still
the
there.
sad part, Steph, is 90% of the talents who are auditioning for that for those positions, most of them have followers on TikTok
Yeah.
and Instagram. So what they did is they tell you, you know what, do you want to be a presenter in our company? Go
Post
record a
it.
video, let it go viral on your social media and send us a link. So while the video is going viral on your Instagram, it's making people visit their Instagram. And that's why I told you digital scamming. People scam your likes and your views and divert it to there so that they grow their platform. So for them, they have people clicking and checking out, oh, is Sako being selected? Let me see if his video has been posted there. So instead of people now following you, they're following them. Digital scamming. So I think that's the unfair part, because you've used
Okay.
people's numbers. Somebody has taken years to grow their Instagram.
Yeah.
You've taken years to grow a TikTok. You don't just grow numbers nowadays. You build something credible, yeah?
That's true.
And all of a sudden you're told, we're not. In fact, they're saying they signed an NDA, an non-disclosure agreement, meaning when you get outside here, you can't talk about what was happening in there. And for me, it was the most toxic work environment ever, basing off that it's radio. Anyways, to my channel, I use story. Right. And away from that, so DCI have urged Kenyans to help them find and rearrest suspected serial killer who escaped from Gigiri police cells. Detectives at Kiambu have now told Kenyans to ensure that they be on the lookout, because there's the killer, I think he was involved in a murder of 10 women whose bodies were found dumped inside an abandoned pit in Kware at Mukuru. Yes, he's the man accused of the bizarre killings, yeah? So the suspect mysteriously vanished from police cells with CCTV footages, later showing the police officers manning the cells aided. I don't know if you remember, Steph, the guy who escaped prison.
Yeah,
Yes,
I do.
yeah. So police are saying, they're urging Kenyans to be on the lookout to catch him. And he was somebody, Jumaisi. Yes.
I still don't understand how
Yeah.
he was
Prison
able
break.
to escape prison, and how he's still not been found till now.
Yes.
It puzzles me, but I hope that he'll be brought to justice, and
Yeah.
the truth eventually comes out. So I don't understand, but we hope that justice will prevail.
Yeah, because
the
now
very
also,
least.
murdering over 10 people and you escape prison, I think it calls for attention of more security enforcers, yeah.
Immediate attention for that particular matter.
Yeah, now October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I believe this is the last week, of October. Oh, okay, so several days and then
Last
it ends.
Tuesday.
Right, so I don't know, Steph, if you've had, you've been part of Setup Cell Conversations. I was speaking to a friend of mine who is coming. I think they're looking forward to host men in a podcast to talk about this, because mostly it's usually a female-centered conversation about, breast cancer awareness, cervical cancer awareness, and many other types of cancer. So it just in bid
Men-
to, men giving perspective from the experience as well, talking about prostate cancer, the shame, the
colon
guilt,
cancer.
also families that have gone through the loss. So how do we spread awareness? How do we combat it? In terms of even our health equipment right in our country, are they enough to offer, what is it called? Chemotherapy? Because most of the time it's usually when somebody is sick, they are transferred to India, or another country, yeah? So what can system right here do to ensure that they equip level 4, level 5 hospitals with some of these, machines that offer, chemotherapy. So I think that's a good conversation, and maybe we
It's,
can have it next time. But I don't know
it
what
is.
your reaction on it. Yeah.
It's a very important conversation, and that I agree with you. For women, we talk about it so many times, and we have raised an awareness. We're still raising an awareness on breast cancer because it's one of those common type of cancers for women. Number one is breast cancer, and then number two is cervical cancer. That's for women, and then for men, number one I know it's prostate cancer, and then there is colon cancer, and one that cuts across for both men and women is lung cancer, which is also a top three of the types of cancers that are there. So I'd say that men need to have this kind of conversation because for men, they really get to stigmatize themselves once they get cancer. I know I tried to. There's a gentleman I'd planned to interview on prostate cancer, and he was all good until the day I had almost reached him. He cancelled because he didn't feel comfortable. He was not bold enough to talk about it. So
Okay.
I understand, and I understood. So with prostate cancer comes a lot of things because as a man, you're not able to, especially for young people,
Yeah.
to perform some functions, sexual functions that you would, because now that affects the treatment, and
Yeah.
even the cancer itself affects your is it the testosterone hormones, you know.
Mm.
So with prostate cancer, it's the release of testosterone hormones, which are too much. So the medication that's usually given, if it's a hormonal treatment,
Yeah.
you're given treatment to reduce the testosterone that is being produced, and this is what allows men to be sexually active. This type of hormone. So when it's not there, then you're not sexually active. So I think that is one of the reasons why men do not even speak about prostate cancer, and even the symptoms of it. For men, when you get to the age of 40,
Yeah.
then you need to do checkups, or you need to be on high alert because now you'd get problems with urination. So when you um, you have a high urine retention,
Yeah.
so you'd go to the toilet and then you'd release urine, but most of it will remain. You'd still feel you're not satisfied. When you go to relieve yourself, you'd leave feeling you're done, but
Yeah.
you'd go to relieve yourself only like a certain percentage, depending on the level that you are in that journey. So you'd release some urine and some remains back. So these are things that men do not talk about really,
Yeah.
and they need to get to that point so
Yeah,
that
interesting.
they
Yeah,
can.
interesting. I think I interviewed, I think it was in 2022, former Mr. Wild. I don't know, do you guys remember him? He was a very tall guy in 2022, early, just media. His dad died of breast cancer.
Breast
Breast,
cancer.
yes, so men suffer breast
From
cancer
breast
too.
cancer as well.
Yeah, but it's not very, let's say, prominent, but it's usually mild. Like the
It's a rare.
population of it is, it's a rare, yes, it's a rare form of cancer. So he was saying that that was his beauty with the Pampers in the contest of Mr. and Miss. And I remember in the conversation, if you go on YouTube right now, Waitu Fafu to find out, conversation with Mr. Wild. Yeah, he said a lot of men hit on him anyways, yeah, part of the business in his space. He said for checkups for men are very intense because it includes you bending over, ukichora namba saba, and the nurse or the doctor has to insert some certain machines in your other area. Scientifically, it's called the anus, right? So you
Yeah.
did that in biology. Maybe the A double dollar sign is a little bit abusive, but yeah, biological. So for men, it's a little bit intense, the checkup, and no man would freely want to go
Be
for that
comfortable for that.
checkup, like go chora number 7, the
Yeah.
doctor has to insert something. So that's why most men don't talk about prostate cancer, and they shame and then they check up. So it was an intense conversation, yeah.
But another way to, because maybe that's a bit intrusive, but
Yes.
it's okay to do that, especially when you get the first indicator is your PSA level. So you go
Yes.
to test your PSA level, and that's
Right.
just the blood. The blood
Right.
will be drawn
Yes.
from your hand, and then if the PSA level is above normal, then now you're referred to do certain tests which are uncomfortable, but they're necessary.
Another one is just touching yourself and getting to see, any
Yeah.
dude in the room. Yeah, they say that, by the way.
Yeah,
It's part of
yeah.
the checkup. So,
It is.
I don't want to
Very
get to the
important.
vivid descriptions. Mseme, hey, hao walikuwa wanaongea nini hapo kwa show ya asubuhi. But yeah, it's part
Exclusive.
of the checkup, yeah?
Yeah.
So, since in the spirit of Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
So-
think, Steph, it's time for us to also exit in a little bit. So,
Alright.
but there's a question we've asked you there. I don't know if you're able to load it up. The question, let me get to the question as Stephanie gets the feedback in just a bit. The question once again ni pesa ngapi ushaipea mtu hajawahi kurudishia. Yesterday Facebook was a little bit down. I hope today it's calming. It's calming.
Wow.
So how much have you ever been given or given someone? How much have you ever been given? Ni pesa ngapi ushaipea mtu na hajawahi kurudishia? Yeah. Pia wewe ni pesa ngapi ulipewa na hujawahi rudisha? Let's also switch up the question a little bit and get to see. Nice. I don't know if you're able to get the feedback, Steph.
My Facebook has jammed
It's
on
lagging,
me,
yeah?
so we will get to
Get
that
the
later.
feedback, yeah.
Yeah, so you keep it coming, and we will sample your feedback when we are back.
Right, so we take a break, Steph. You want to talk about your interview, or they should anticipate and
you
wait for
you
it?
should wait. I'm going to
Okay.
have an entrepreneur who's also a model. It's amazing. A great story that you want to be a part of. Hashtag Why in the Morning at Y254. My personal handle is at Stephanie Ayeta.
Right, and as well, we'll be talking about nurturing SMEs towards 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. So you don't mind sticking around for that conversation at Brand Circle 101. We take a break, and then when we come back with the first conversation of the day, you get to catch up and see what's up in store. See you on the other side.
Y254. Imagine.
Say bye-bye to FOMO, the fear of missing out, by downloading the KBC online app that gives you access to everything you love. Get the latest news, sports, music, entertainment news, live TV, live radio, and so much more at the palm of your hands. To get the app, simply search KBC Mobile Digital App in your Google Play or App Store and download the app. Catch what you want, anytime, anywhere. Stay connected. Stay ahead with KBC Mobile Digital App.
Chemi za uongo, stories za jaba ndo tingize ubongo, ndo bebe kawale tikiza kamongo.
What's up, everybody? Have you heard of Bounce Nation? We are the latest, most turned-up show in 254.
You know how we do each and every Tuesday, Thursday. Mad vibes, mad music. When you see this face, amazing vibes, pure niceness, mad music. Now always kumbuka wewe ndoko in full control.
I'm unavailable. They know they see me.
I go by the name Feeling June.
And I am the beat doctor, DJ Epic, straight out of Gas Chamber DJs. You know how we do.
Of course, catch us every single Tuesday and Thursday from 4 p.m. all the way to 7 p.m. for mad energy, good vibes, and interviews and interactions with your favorite celebrities.
Kuimbie Bwana, mfalme wa mbinguni, niimbe na zaburi,
Our stories shape our future. It's within them that we get to know ourselves.
God always came through in a way that we couldn't even explain. And we came to realize that putting God at the center of it is like everything else will just flow.
What do you do when push comes to shove?
He was a great man.
Yeah.
At that moment, he was supportive.
Yeah.
Until 6 months, we went for the first surgery.
That's why here on The Nest, we tell you these stories to empower you and shape your parenting. Every Tuesday from 7:30 p.m. only on Y254.
I'm feeling vibes on vibes.
This week on The Buzz, we check out on what Arya Star was up to while in Kenya.
Protect my energy from your bad aura. Then my pastor say, I heal everything I desire.
Prezzo has said goodbye to the secular world. Find out why.
Prosper, no enemies, no disaster. When you master blessings comes the faster.
We highlight the life story of actress Gina Ortega. Venom, The Last Dance is finally here, and we have all the highlights.
This world can't survive.
Let's catch up on Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. with Eve Nyaga for all the entertainment news.
Just para, come up my jigger. I go just play, follow my dream. I'm feeling.
Y254. Imagine.
Azolla is a branched aquatic fern that thrives or floats on the surface of stagnant water bodies such as lakes and ponds, as well as slow-moving rivers. It has been around for 1,000 years as an overlooked water plant until around the last 2 or 3 years. Farmers everywhere, from bustling farmers markets to popular social media platforms like X, are buzzing about its potential. You may hear some talk about darkweed, mosquito fern, or fairy moss, but all this are other names for the aquatic fern. Martin Okello, a youth farmer practicing Azolla farming, sheds more light on the secret plant transforming farms across Kenya and beyond.
Azolla is an aquatic plant majorly growing on water. This aquatic plant has got some nutritional advantages that when a farmer installs Azolla farming, uses Azolla farming in his farm, then number one, it will be advantageous as Azolla will cater as a livestock feed. Number two, as a green manure.
It's a livestock feed and improves yields, especially chicken, that contributes to optimal egg weight, enhanced egg quality, and richer yolk color.
Azolla has got some nutritional advantages. There is a crude protein content that is of around 25 to 35%. Azolla has got amino acids and also some minerals like calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, potassium, and also vitamins like B12, beta also is in Azolla. You can actually improvise Azolla in your farm. That is, when you are a poultry farmer to do layers. In layers, we encounter a lot of problems like weak eggshell, small eggs. We lose even the quality of the egg, you know. So Azolla will help to improve the egg size as it improves also the eggshells, and also it will increase the production of the eggs by around 50 to 75%.
Many farmers usually grow the fern in artificial ponds. You can use containers instead if you have limited resources and space.
Kuna kitu inaitwa harvesting of Azolla. Sawa sawa? Saa hii ukiangalia hii chupa, mimi nitakuwekea ndani ya hii chupa. Sawa sawa? Na nikikupakia na kupakia na maji. Sawa? Na kupakia na maji, cause maji ndo ni uhai wake. Ukitoa ndani ya maji itakufa. Sasa ku harvest mimi nitachukua tu nikuwekee hivi kwa chupa hadi ijae. Alafu ikishajaa na kuwekea na maji. Sawa sawa? Ama ukienda kwa nyumba na hauna pond kama hii, uko na besheni Azolla inataka tu maji peke yake.
Other than being a livestock feed, Azolla doubles as an organic manure. Like legumes, it enriches soil fertility by fixing nitrogen in the air. So, you can spread it around the bases of your crops to increase yields.
In Azolla, the laboratory indicates that Azolla has got some symbiotic relationship with some bacteria like cyanobacteria, which fixes nitrogen to the soil. So you can use Azolla as a biofertilizer in your farm. And also you can use Azolla during composting, as it decomposes very fast and it fixes nitrogen to your compost.
Although many farmers usually venture into Azolla farming purposely to obtain feed or manure for their farm, it can be your source of side income.
Right now, many people are looking for white-collar jobs, and they are crying that no jobs at all, no white-collar jobs at all. But now we are bringing a solution in every corner, that now even youths, the slay kings and the slay queens now can do farming even without using soil, such that you can see, you can identify your nails in doing hydroponics.
Additionally, you can use Azolla to control mosquitoes and weeds breeding in ponds and rice paddies, as it is environmental friendly.
Yes, additionally, also Azolla will act as a weed repellent in the paddy rice. Like when you're a rice farmer, there are these weeds like chara, which do actually frustrate farmers. So if you introduce Azolla in the paddy rice, it will help fix nitrogen to the rice, at the same time helps in weed control. Then also, it's also a mosquito repellent. So Azolla has got a lot, many advantages to a farmer.
Azolla is a relatively easy plant to cultivate, but like any other crop, it requires proper management.
Number one, Azolla is being propagated 500 grams per pond meter square. Alafu umechukua 500 grams of Azolla, umeweka hapa ndani. Sawa sawa? You'll propagate it that way, and then you'll only need a stagnant water. Utahitaji tu maji yenye imesimama, a stagnant water. Before you introduce Azolla, you'll have to fertilize the water. Si ndio? Si hata mimea ya kawaida pia wewe unatumia mbolea. Sasa hapa utahitaji mbolea. Sawa sawa? Now, how do you fertilize Azolla's water? Unatumia mbolea ya mbuzi, goat droppings. Goat droppings has a lot of phosphorus. So when harvesting, please harvest sparingly. Sawa? Azolla is an algae. Algae reproduces asexually, meaning there is no fusion of gametes. So something which reproduces via spores on water reproduces very fast. Sawa sawa? So within 5 to 10 days in a fertile water, utakuwa umeanza kuvuna Azolla yako. Na hii utatumia kama chakula ya kuku, chakula ya nguruwe, chakula ya samaki, chakula ya ng'ombe, chakula ya sungura. Sawa sawa?
The major potential challenge is overly rapid growth, which can lead to blocked pump filters and inlets, reduced water flow and access for livestock, and limited sunlight penetration in ponds. However, management strategies includes the following. mechanical, or manual removal by regularly skimming azolla with a net or hands can prevent overgrowth. By being aware of these potential challenges and implementing preventive measures, you can ensure azolla farming remains a successful and sustainable venture.
I urge all farmers to start azolla farming as it will cater for a lot of things in the farm.
Y254. Imagine.
Chemi za uongo, stories za jabando tingize ubongo, ndo bebe kawaletikiza kamongo.
What's up, everybody? Have you heard of Bounce Nation? We are the latest, most turned-up show in 254.
You know how we do each and every Tuesday, Thursday. Mad vibes, mad music. When you see this face, amazing vibes, pure niceness, mad music. Now always kumbuka wewe ndoko in full control.
I'm unavailable. They know they see me.
I go by the name Feeling Jean.
And I am the beat doctor, DJ Epic, straight out of Gas Chamber DJs. You know how we do.
Of course, catch us every single Tuesday and Thursday from 4 p.m. all the way to 7 p.m. for mad energy, good vibes, and interviews and interactions with your favorite celebrities.
The young generation awakens on Y254, the leading youth TV station in Kenya. We treat you to current affairs, entrepreneurship, health, and human interest conversations.
It's art, it's culture.
Movies, gossip and trends, sports,
drama.
We bring you a vibe like no other, straight to your living room.
To keep you informed, inspired, entertained, and most of all, refreshed.
We are such a vibe.
Y254. Imagine.
Our stories shape our future. It's within them that we get to know ourselves.
God always came through in a way that we couldn't even explain. And we came to realize that putting God at the center of it is like everything else will just flow.
What do you do when push comes to shove?
He was a great man.
Yeah.
At that moment, he was supportive. Until 6 months, we went for the first surgery.
That's why here on The Nest, we tell you these stories to empower you and shape your parenting. Every Tuesday from 7:30 p.m. only on Y254.
Shining in the setting sun like a pearl upon the ocean. Come and feel me, oh feel me. Feelूं है पीने का मौसम तेरे संग इश्क तारी है.
I'm feeling vibes on vibes.
This week on The Buzz, we check out on what Arya Star was up to while in Kenya.
Protect my energy from your bad aura. Then my past don't say my healer, everything I desire.
Prezo has said goodbye to the secular world. Find out why.
Prosper, no enemies, frenemies, no disaster. When your master blessings comes the faster.
We highlight the life story of actress Gina Ortega. Venom, The Last Dance is finally here, and we have all the highlights.
World Cancer.
Let's catch up on Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. with Eve Nyaga for all the entertainment news.
Come off my jigger, I go just follow my dream.
It's art, it's culture, it's fun, it's attitude. We sample some of the best artistic works locally and beyond our borders. Oh, and don't get me started on the cultural events. Music, dance, fine art, culinary arts, and much, much more. You name it, and we have got you covered. My name is Kevin Kasioki. Please join me each and every Friday at 8 p.m. only on Y254 channel.
What's up, beautiful people? It's your host with the most, Muna Joy.
And your DJ Faro the Finisher catches every Friday from 6 p.m. mpaka saa 2 usiku on Tano Kali Show.
Right here on Kenya's #1 channel, Y254.
Oh yeah, baby Jamboree. I like the way we gone, buddy.
We're going to be giving you hot trending topics that are happening on social media platforms. We will also be interviewing hella talented artists on the show as well.
Kama kawaida, I'll be here to give you the best mixes. Alafu sahau pia kuna top 5 hits of the week.
All right, see you then.
Like I never loved me in my life. So love me like you never loved me.
Y254. Imagine.
Here on Power Talk Show, we handle conversations of current affairs that directly affect you. We do a deep dive on conversations that involve relationships, mental health, finances, and other trending issues. We also share stories of people who have faced adversaries and managed to overcome them.
I'm a person who tried committing suicide 3 times. Yes, before I reached class 7.
Tune in to Power Talk each and every Thursday at 7:10 p.m. and join in the conversation with me, Cheryl Blessing, using the hashtag Power Talk.
These streets knows my name. These legs knows my pain.
Street anthem kings and queens are sound the alarm. Yeah man, buckle up for the biggest and the baddest show in the country. This is Inner Yard Red at Y254 channel.
Yes, sire. Mission in a back is the same. Oneness of Rastafari.
Jano, my name is Mandy Moses, the positive warrior, alongside the baddest in the land.
Selector DJ D-Rich selecting the very best of reggae and dancehall music.
Na unajua ni aje, pia tutakuwa tuna live interviews,
hype sessions.
Alafu pia tunakuletea what has been trending in the Caribbean land. So sikose each and every Saturday 7:30 kwenye PM
until 10 p.m.
Sure.
Rastafari.
Yeah man.
You bless me, bless me, bless me. You bless me, bless me, bless me. Oh God, you bless me.
Ever wanted your voice to be heard, your opinion to matter? Where else if not here on Unfinished, where we focus on matters related to business, politics, entertainment, name it all. Join us every Saturday at 7 p.m. on Y254 Unfinished, because this is the only place where we get to finish matters.
Y254. Imagine. affordable housing programs are crucial initiatives aimed at providing housing options that are manageable for individuals and families with low to moderate incomes. They seek to tackle housing shortages, mitigate homelessness, and ensure equal access to safe and adequate living conditions.
Wewe ndio plumber?
Mimi nafanya plumbing.
Yeah. Okay. Umefanya hapa siku ngapi sasa?
Hapa? Nimefanya karibu siku 4.
Kazi ya kupanga mambo ya plumbing.
Maji, pipe.
Uko na unafanya na guesswork ama unafanya na drawing?
Tuko na drawing. Hawezi fanya guesswork. Tuko na drawing tunafanya na.
Lazima unafanya na drawing. Very good.
The Kenya Kwanza government has prioritized affordable housing as a key component of the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. This initiative seeks to provide affordable housing for low and middle-income Kenyans, aligning with the broader goal of economic inclusivity and social equity. Article 43 of the Kenya Constitution guarantees social rights for all citizens, including the right to accessible and adequate housing. This constitutional mandate underpins our government's commitment to bridging the gap, ensuring that every Kenyan can access safe living conditions. The Kibra Soweto B4 Social Housing Project is a transformative initiative located in Africa's largest informal settlement, Kibra, Nairobi, set to be completed by January 2026. It will deliver 4,054 housing units designed to improve living conditions for families. The housing units will be available under a tenant purchase scheme with monthly payments starting with at as low as 2,400 Kenya shillings for a one-bedroom apartment. Two-bedroom apartment will require a payment of 4,600 Kenya shillings, while three-bedroom unit will cost 6,500 Kenya shillings per month. All payments will attract an interest rate of 3%. The construction of affordable housing units has created approximately 160,000 jobs, benefiting a variety of professions from construction workers to artisans, with local residents directly employed on sites. This initiative has played a significant role in reducing unemployment and improving the livelihoods of many Kenyans. Maurice Ouko Oyugi and Mary Wambo have experienced transformative changes in their lives due to the housing project, which has not only improved their living standards but also provided valuable learning opportunities.
Tulipewa opportunity, first priority wasewa hii area ndo walipewa, na mimi kama mtu nilikuwa naishi kwa hii area initially, mimi ni beneficiary. Kuna wale vijana wetu ambao walisomea vitu tofauti. In fact, sahi this their first employment because mradi iko mtaa. For example, najipea example na mimi personally nilifanya course ya site safety, construction safety and health. So venye mradi ilianza nikaleta mapepa zangu, nikawa na additional advantage the fact that naishi area, nikachukuliwa. So na work hapa kama site safety.
Nikikuja kwa site nilianza na kazi ya kubeba mawe. Nilikuwa nabeba mawe na nikiambiwa kazi yenye imebaki ni ya kubeba mawe nilisikia vibaya, lakini nikasema juu nikienda kwa nyumba naenda kukaa, acha nipambane na hii mawe. Kukuja day one nilijikuta nimebeba na nimeshinda hata wanaume wengine, nikajua kumbe naweza make it. Mawe zenye nilibeba first day si zenye nilibeba second day, nilienda nikiimprove nikiongezea.
Maureen Adisa, a dedicated community chairlady and active worker at the construction site, has observed firsthand the positive impact of the housing projects on the local community, particularly among women. Same sentiments shared by Mary Wambo.
Mimi kama hapa kwa mjengo naweza encourage madem wafanye kitu yenye wanaume wanafanya. Because usipofanya kitu yenye wanaume wanafanya, ukienda kutafuta kazi ya madem, utapata kazi ya madem. Kuja ufanye kazi yenye mwanaume anafanya. Kuna si kazi mzito, tafuta tu kazi ile rahisi, ile yenye wanaume anafanya, because inasemekana what a man can do, a woman can do better. So mimi hata ndani yangu, ndani yetu ama viongozi wenye tuko wanaume, unapata mimi ndio mwanamke, saa zingine ndio niko na kipao ya juu na mimi ndio ninaongea sana. So hapa kwa site kuna wamama wenye ninahakikishanga lazima wapate kazi. Kuna ma single mother, kuna wale wa mama wajane, ninahakikishanga wanapata kazi. Na hapa kazi ni mzuri kwa sababu hauwezi maliza mwezi kama hata hujalipa nyumba. So mimi kinafurahia ni wa mama wenzangu ama mademu wenzangu wakifanya job kwa mjengo, ile job yenyewe hakuna mtu alikuwa na expect mwanamke ndiye anaweza fanya. Mademu kuinje wanaogopa mjengo, juu wanaona mjengo nikaa kuja kubeba mawe, kuja kubeba mchanga. Hapana, kuja uchague kwa mjengo kazi unaweza fanya. Ufanye kwa mtu kama mtu wa mkono. The more unafanya kama mtu wa mkono, huyo mtu mwenye anafanya kama fundi akufundishe ukae ukijua. Then unakuja unapata unatoka hapa na ujuzi mingi sana. So kama mimi sasa niko na ujuzi yenye sikuwa wai expect ndakuwa nayo. Mimi naweza koroga, mimi naweza funga chuma. Hizi ni vitu nimesomea hapa. Hata kama sina cheti, lakini ni kitu hata nikitoka hapa siwezi kosa job. Hata kama siwezi fanya kazi yenye mademu wanafanya, hata nikienda siku nyingine kwa site nyingine nitafanya job. Na si mimi peke yangu. Kisha hii nini imesaidia, kuna merry-go-round ya wamama. Ukilipwa Saturday, juu kila siku unalipwa unapewa Saturday yako. Ukipewa Saturday, unatoa kidogo, tunaingia kwa chama, tunatoa merry-go-round. Unapata kwa merry-go-round umenunua kitu ulikuwa unatamani kwa nyumba yako, umelipa school fees, ama umenunua kitu ya maana kwa nyumba ama kwa boma yenu.
Nazoambia wajitume, juu hata mimi mwanzo nilishtuka, but nikasema juu niko mtaa na sina anything na sitaomba, better nijitume. Nazoambia wakuje wafanye kazi. Si ngumu vile wanafikiria, ukizoea hata ni easy sana.
Maureen Adisa, Mary Wambo, and Maurice Ouko Oyugi shared a collective vision that transcends their current role at the construction site. Their dreams are deeply rooted in the hope that the houses that they are helping to build will transform their lives and the lives of their families.
Hii mradi kivyangu imenisaidia kwa sababu next nakuja kuishi nyumba ya mawe yenye na own mimi mwenyewe, nitasave, na bado tunaendelea na kujenga zingine, kumaanisha kazi bado tunaendelea kuchapa ishi sahi. Ndio wakibomoa next huku bado tunaenda tufanye huko kazi na kazi itapunguka. Imenisaidia sana kwa sababu siko penye nilikuwa.
Imenisaidia kwa sababu naweza nikalipa vitu zangu, like naweza nikalipa mahitaji, naweza save ka kitu. Of course hapa tunafanya saving. Bado hii kazi inanisaidia kwa sababu nyumba niliambiwa ni save, kuja nipate nyumba. So ile ndo napata hapa ndo tena natumia kusave, ndo siku moja nikuja nipate nyumba. So imenisaidia pamoja na familia yangu.
The housing program not only benefits the construction workers, but also supports nearby businesses. Anita Mwendwa works at a local hotel close to the construction site, where many workers often go for their meals. This has provided her with a job, allowing her to earn an income to support her family.
Mimi ni mfanyikazi, nimeajiriwa. Mimi nafanya kupika. Kuna mchele, kuna ugali, kuna chai, kuna maharagwe. Mimi nikipika, ikifika jioni na napewa mshahara yangu. Inanisaidia kwa kulipa rent, kubai chakula na kulipa school fees.
The affordable housing program remains a cornerstone of President Ruto's development agenda aimed at addressing the housing shortage in Kenya while driving job creation and economic growth. The housing program not only supports the construction workers, but also fosters community resilience and economic growth. Together, we are building a brighter future for all Kenyans.
Na kabla ya mwisho wa mwaka huu, before the end of this year, kabla ya mwisho wa mwaka huu, mutaziona zile nyumba nilianzisha mwaka uliopita kwa sababu nyingi zimeanza kuwa tayari. If seeing is believing, you will begin to see, so that you can believe that we are serious on the housing plan. Our intention is at least in the next 5 years, we must create 1 million new home owners in Kenya. People who have a place to call home that we have facilitated. Apart from creating jobs, we create decent livelihoods for our people.
Makao bora, maisha bora.
Makao bora, maisha bora.
Makao bora, maisha bora.
Y254. Imagine.
Welcome back, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that particular feature that has been done. And you can give us your comments on it. Y254 channel is our channel, and the hashtag to use is One in the Morning. Now we switch gears a bit, and the guest I promised you we are bringing is here already. I'm talking about Pamela Kimathi, who's the founder of P Africa Safaris. Not just that, but she's also the current Miss Rise and Shine World Humanity 2024-2025. She's doing a lot, and she's going to tell us all about it. Pamela, hi.
Hi.
You look so dashing, so lovely,
Thank
so
you.
demure.
So do you. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Nice to have you with us. So, let's start by you telling us who you are, the titles that you carry. I know I've introduced you with two titles, so I'm sure there's more that you're doing. So tell us about it.
Thank you. My name is Pamela Kimathi, as you've heard. I'm the reigning Miss Rise and Shine Humanity 2024-2025, and I have other past titles like Miss Unique Queen Africa Kenya 2021 and other local pageants. I've done a lot of pageantry and high fashion. I'm a model, and I'm an entrepreneur and a tour operator. I'm the founder of P Africa Safaris and Young Talents Modeling Academy. So basically, I'm an advocate of education of children in my society and nurturing their talents, especially the less fortunate. That is what I'm all about. And I'm out here to show people that beauty queens are important in the society in terms of giving back to the society.
Wow, I love it. You have so many things that you're doing. I'm tempted to ask, how old are you? But Najwa, ladies do not want to share their age.
No, I don't have a problem with my age.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
29 years old.
Uh-huh.
I started modeling when I was 21. Yes, and I've done a couple of pageants. I've been a finalist in Miss World Kenya 2023.
Wow.
I was a finalist. I was competing for Miss Tourism 2018, Miss Tourism Kenya, Miss Intercontinental. Like, I've done a lot of pageants, from the locals to the national ones, and now the international ones.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing. So 8 years of experience in modeling. You're a professional.
Yes.
And now you want to, you're training the young guys through your academy. You're giving back, and not just that, but you have something coming up. You've come up with your own pageantry and high fashion, but you'll tell us about it later on. We'll save the best for last. So we want to understand, how are you able, no, give us your background first. How did you get to become a model at 21?
So basically, let me call myself a simple young lady, born from a village somewhere in Meru County. So I didn't know that I was a model. So most of models who are really who would really make it in the industry, they don't even know they're models. So I didn't know I was a model. And when I was in Form 1, the girls in high school used to call me a model because they said I'm walking like a model. So I didn't even know.
So you just had a natural look, a natural walk of a model.
I just said the natural body, the natural walk, but I didn't know that I'm a model until I went to college in 2015. That's when I started competing in Miss Tibbs College. I studied in Thika Institute of Business Studies. I did tourism management. So I competed in 2015. I didn't even make it to top 10. Then in 2016, I became second runners-up in Miss Tibbs College. and that is how I started. Then I went out to tried to get signed in agencies. It didn't work, so I worked as a freelance all those years, and that is how I began. Then I worked hard towards it. I got trained by different trainers, and that is how I went. Then in 2018, I went to one of the national pageant, which is Miss Tourism Kenya. That was my first national pageant, and that is how I continued.
Wow.
Because that girl that never gives up.
Wow.
I just keep coming, despite the challenges.
The consistency,
Yes.
believing in yourself. I honestly tried modeling at some point because mimi nilikuwa naambiwa pia, you know, you look like a model because you have a small body. I was smaller than I am now. And then I tried modeling pageantry at some point. Was it in I think it was also in 2015, and I didn't qualify. I wasn't in, they only gave the top 3. And I got the best smile as an award. So I decided I will just stay with my smile and stop. But I also tried getting into an agency, and it didn't work because it seemed like they were out to get money and to make money from models.
Even
you
worse.
You know, and even worse, I
went
didn't stay
through worse.
I didn't stay
things.
long enough. Tell us about it. What did you go through?
When I was beginning in 2016, when I tried to go to different agencies, but those people, I really met bad people because I went through sexual harassment, I went through exploitation. So these people are telling me to take photos of me when I'm naked, and I refuse to do it. So what I can tell to the young models out there, because I train them and I try to tell them this every day. If your talent is the one that sells you, not your body as a woman. Do not let anyone to belittle you. I said no, and I decided to be a freelancer because now I've tried different ones. Others have used my talents to make money, and I didn't even earn a single cent.
From it.
So they got everything from my talent. So this is one of the main things that have pushed me to begin something, because I want to protect these young girls
people.
and boys, especially the girls in the society that are beginning to become models. And so I decided, what if I make a difference and make something that is going to make a difference in fashion and modeling industry, where there's no exploitation. I'm going to pay these models. There is no harassment of any kind. It's your talent. If you cannot make it to be a model, for example, there are types of modeling. If you cannot be a runway model, you can be a commercial model. There's people who are good with that, and there are people who are good with this other thing. There's no need to force it if it doesn't work, because people take advantage of you and they see you're desperate. So I try to tell these models, come, train, get trained, and know your strength. Personally, my strength is the runway, but I'm also good with advertisements. I'm good with a lot of things in modeling industry.
You can do so many things,
I can
but
do
your,
a lot of
your
things.
strength is in the
Yeah,
runway.
but my strength is on the runway. Because, for example, in high fashion, I'm not picked mostly because of my height, because they want really tall models. But I still make it at some point because I have the body, I have the walk, and I have the confidence. So I end up getting picked in one way or another. Though most of them I'm not picked because they want tall models.
Really tall.
But I know that I'm made for the runway. So I tell them, the young models, know what you're made for. If you cannot do it on the runway, there is commercial. The commercial models are making money, a lot of money.
I want to be a commercial
Actually.
model.
They're making a lot of money compared to us runway models. A lot of it. So just do what you're able to, what you're good at. But don't force yourself in something that it's not gonna work for you. Because you're going to be taken advantage of. The industry is not empathetic.
So you need to know yourself as you get into the industry, and that's what you're trying to bring. Because of your experience with the kind of exploitation that you know, it's deeper than that. And modeling is a decent career for parents. You know, some will say, why are you going to walk? Why are you going to, you know, how would you explain modeling as an art, or how would you explain modeling as?
I will say with myself, I'm going to explain this with myself. As I said, when I was growing up, when I was a teenager and then a young woman, I was really skinny. I was quite skinny, and you know, us as Africans, when you're skinny, it's like you don't fit in the society at some point. So I went through a lot of body shaming when I was younger.
Yeah.
For many years. So what did modeling do to me that made me the woman I am today? Modeling accepted me. The skinny models are the ones that were taken most of the time. So I met myself at the front line, being picked for pageantries, for high fashion, for commercials, quite a lot of them. So that's how I was able to overcome the body shaming and came out as a strong woman. So I'm gonna say that modeling it's a career, and it's also a skill, and it's something that it's so beautiful for me. I don't know, I hope that it can empower others the way it empowered me positively. Because were it not for modeling, I don't know, my self-esteem could have been dead. But because of modeling, I am the woman I am today, a confident woman who can do a lot of things without fear, loving myself, and I want other women to love themselves the way they are. You're gonna fit in the society in one way or another. However you look like, you might be a plus size, you might be skinny, you might be my size, or somebody looking the way you look like. You're important because people are gonna be looking for that particular side, and they don't have it, then they find you. Meaning that everyone fits in the society. Love yourself, accept yourself, then things will fall into place.
Okay.
Yes.
So there's something special about everyone, you know. That which you think is not a fit, you know, you actually being looked for somewhere. And we'll get even to the color, because you have something coming up with for inclusivity. Before we get to that, tell us about P Africa Safaris. How did you come up with this particular organization or company?
Oh, that's a beautiful question. So as I said, I studied tourism, tours and travel operations in college. And after that, I got a job as a tour consultant. I worked for Global Destinations Tours and Travel. It was along USIU Road. So then COVID-19 came along, so everything stopped. So I lost my job and all that. Then I couldn't continue again. And in 2020, when now in the middle of COVID-19, I started Young Talent Modeling Academy, because I couldn't like sit down and be idle. So I thought of something, what can I do during this time? I started training young models.
How old are these young models?
Any age, as long I picked from 18 years old and above, because that time now I'm beginning to train the models. I didn't want to start with kids. So from 18 years and above, I started training them and nurturing them as I get paid, so I can pay my bills and all that. That's how I started Young Talent Modeling Academy. So now I traveled in 2021. I traveled abroad to Turkey, and I lived in Istanbul for 1 year. I did.
How did you get to travel? Was it out of modeling or training?
It was for tourism.
Okay.
So I traveled. When I traveled, when I came back in 2022 December, so it's 1 year out of the country. I came to compete for Miss World Kenya. I had applied and I qualified. So I was a finalist. I came to compete. I came back specifically for that pageant. So I sacrificed and came back. So when I came back in 2023, that's when I decided, okay, I've traveled out of the country. I have skills in tourism. Why don't I start my own business? Because now I've been looking for a job. I'm not getting a job so easily. What about, I just decided to think outside the box. So that's when I started my business. Personally, even today I work alone, though I have somebody else who have come recently. So that's when I started my business. I started now talking to clients from Turkey, where I came from. So people want to come to Kenya to see we have cultural diversity, we have tourism thriving in our country.
Yeah.
So that's how I started. I got 1, 2 clients, and I started like that slowly. My business is still growing. It's not a big business yet. It's still growing, and hoping to take it to greater heights. So that's when I started. I registered it just a few months ago, and that's how I became a businesswoman in tourism industry.
Wow, amazing. So much that you can do. If you do not, if employment is a problem, then you create a solution to it and come up. You know, be an entrepreneur, you can do that as well as you give back to the community in one way or the other through your skill and talent. And that's what you've done. So now you're planning to have an event, I believe next year, and that is Mr. and Miss World Inclusive and Afrique Couture Fashion Show.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
So I'm gonna start with the pageantry. The pageantry, I thought the high fashion first. I thought about it like a few years ago, 4 years ago down the line.
So for people who do not understand the difference between high fashion and pageantry, what is the difference?
Okay, high fashion, it's a showcasing of outfits from different designers. So it's basically advertising these outfits, this art. You know, design is art. For the designers, it's art. So as a model, I wear the outfits, I walk on the runway, and then people see it and they like the design, so they want to buy it. That's a high fashion model. Pageantry, it's where you compete to be a miss or you're a beauty queen. So there's high fashion, it's a high fashion model, a runway high fashion model. Pageantry, it's a beauty queen. So where you win, for example, Miss World Inclusive, you compete. In that one, it's not about only walking on the runway. Walking on the runway, confidence, public speaking. So basically, as a beauty queen or a king, it is all about being an ambassador of your country, of your community, like giving back to the society. Being a beauty queen or a king, it's a task that comes with a lot of responsibilities. It doesn't come just about beauty, it's beauty and brains.
Okay.
What you do for the society and what you're able to do to other people.
Wow, wonderful. So I hope you're taking all this in, because Pamela Kimathi, just to give you a run through of what she's been able to achieve at 29. She started modeling when she was 21, and she came from the village Meru proudly, and she came to Nairobi and discovered that she can actually model. People identified that she has a good work and a good body for it. Initially she was body shamed, but it turned for her good, you know. So what are you going through that you think is a downside for you, which could actually be your escape, could actually be your strength, and what you're looking for in order to turn things around for your life? So that has been Pamela. And not just that, she has contested from the local level to the national level, like Miss Tourism Kenya, to the international level, and she's been a finalist for Miss World, right? So she's done all that, and now she wants to give back. In 2021, when things were a bit bad and she lost her job as a tour consultant, she decided to give back and make money while at it, doing what she does best. So she started an agency, young talent modeling agency, right? Academy, not agency. We have a bad taste with the agencies. So modeling academy, and that's how she's been training young people. And now later on, after going to Turkey and coming back, she started her company, that is P Africa Tours, Africa Safaris. Why am I getting these words wrong? P Africa Safaris, and she's making something out of it. It's growing slowly. She's used her networks from Turkey. So are you picking some pointers from this? And now she's telling us about her event coming up, that is Mr. and Miss World Inclusive and Afrique Couture Fashion Show that will be next year in March, and what she aims to get from it. So yeah, Pamela, back to you now.
Thank
so
you.
What is it about about this event that you really want to get out of it?
So basically, this is about talents and African culture and heritage. The African culture and heritage, it's on the high fashion, because I aim to pick, I just want this event to be bigger, even if not for the first edition, but the second edition I aim on having different designers from across Africa. I want to at least show people that Africans are talented, and then I would like to see African outfits on an international stage. Yeah, so I want to bring in these talents, these designers, with a taste of African heritage and culture. So what I want to do is when these models are showcasing on the runway for these designers, I want to see the different acts of African designers on this runway and on this event. And I want this to reoccur every year. Then on the pageantry side, as you have said about...
So will it be 2 different events?
No, it's going to be one event with 2 different things. It's like eating a bird
between 2 birds with one
stone. 2
stone.
birds with one stone.
Okay.
So for the pageantry, it's because of what I went through in my pageantry journey. You know, people winning, I mean, the one that is not supposed to win wins, just like that, because of maybe you know someone in the organization or you've paid for that crown.
Oh, so it happens. That happens also.
It does happen, and I've seen it, I've experienced it as well. So I don't want something like that in my event. I don't want models feeling bad because this model was supposed to win, but she didn't win. I want everything to be free and fair. I want an ambassador that can represent my brand, not only in my country, but abroad. I want that the king and queen to be able to be the spokespeople of the youths, because this is about youth empowerment and their talents. So in the show, we are going to have dancers, young dancers, and other talents being showcased during the event. So it's an event that is going to take a few hours, like many hours, with different showcasings in there, in pageantry, high fashion, talents. I want the youths to show what they can do. I want the youths to feel that their talent, you know, talent is very important. As much as I'm a tour consultant, I really love my talent as a model and other talents that I have, because talents can take you far, like like a young artist. So I want also to include those people in this event. It's all about youth empowerment, the entire youth community in my country. So I want to bring 8 to the table. Then I want to create awareness to the society, because there's a lot of ignorance when it comes to modeling. People have a different picture when it comes to modeling. They do not understand that modeling is talent, it's a skill, it's a career. I want people to understand. That's why the next edition I want to go to the villages and pick those talents that have been lost in there. Because if I didn't have a chance to come to the city, maybe I wouldn't be a model today. Maybe I wouldn't be who I am today.
Yeah.
So what if I go and pick those beautiful talents in the village? So the next edition I want to do that. I want to go in there, pick those talents and bring them on the table and see what I can do to grow them.
Right here, wow. You are so passionate about this and you have a great vision for this, which is remarkable. Now, for those that will participate, you know, when are you opening registration for our viewers? I'm just asking on behalf of someone who wants to be part of the, you know, contest.
I'm opening registration this December, start of December. So the month will be about, I already have the high fashion models because I had done an audition last year. So I have the high fashion models. So the beauty pageants for the Mr. and Miss, I'm going to open the registration this December. Yeah, latest December. Yeah.
Now, how will they get that information?
It's gonna be through the page on Instagram, on Young Talents Modeling Academy, and P Africa Safaris, because now this is under, everything is under P Africa Safaris, because now it's one organization for one person. It's all under me. So it's gonna be through Young Talents Modeling Academy on Instagram and Facebook.
Okay.
So keep your eyes open so you can see when you're gonna have this open. And I want all, I didn't speak about all the skin tones.
So that's the place of inclusivity, because I wanted to ask you about it.
Yes.
So inclusivity, what are you looking for?
Inclusivity, first of all, I'm speaking about body. I'm gonna be picking from size 4 to size 10. So size 10, they're not plus size, but because of the society, they feel like they are fat. You're not fat. As long as you're fit, you can walk on the runway, you can be a brand, I'm going for you. So I'm picking size from size 4, that's the slim models, going to size 10.
Okay.
And
Just
then
curious, what size are you?
I'm size 6.
You're size 6?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm trying to place myself somewhere. I think I'm size 8.
Maybe.
Okay.
And then all the skin tones, all of them. It doesn't matter your skin color, it doesn't matter your skin tone. I want everyone in this pageant. Albinos, vitiligos, melanin, brown skin, light skin, white. Because now I want this event to go international. So I'm gonna, in the next coming editions, I'm gonna be taking
Pulling it
applications from across the globe so that everyone can participate. And in this pageant, it doesn't matter. As long as you really won, you have the right to take your reign for 1 year and make a difference in the society. So the theme of the pageant is beauty with a purpose and humanity. So when it comes to humanity, as a beauty queen or king, what are you able to give to the society? You don't have to have money to give to the society. Personally, I don't have the money to give, but I have the skills, I have the will. So what do? I go to train kids free of charge, the less fortunate in the society. I train at Umbrella Children's Home, and these kids have really interact with me. They know me. I love these kids, and they were like having a good relationship. And I've seen the talent that they have. They are so enthusiastic. They want to learn. They want to do better with their talents. So I go training these kids. What can you do? It's doing small things with love. Doing small things with love, with great love. So you don't have to, it doesn't matter your background. I'm not picking background, I'm picking a brand ambassador, an ambassador of a country, an ambassador who can represent youth and my brand and make a difference in the society. What can you do? So when you're coming to apply for Miss World Inclusive, you have to think, what can I give to the society as a person, not even as an individual. That is what I'm looking at.
All right.
Yes.
Wonderful. Amazing. As we come to a close, I'm just curious, have you ever, because of the title, have you ever been discriminated because of your color? Apart from your body, the body shaming that was there before you became a model, have you ever been discriminated because of color?
Well, I don't know how to call it discrimination of skin color or not, because I don't think I have gone through it badly. I haven't in that direction, because when I traveled to Turkey, I was like a hot cake because I'm black skin.
Really?
So when you're obviously when you're different, you have the opportunity, you know. So I can't say that I was discriminated racially. No.
Okay.
It's just the body shaming part, unless when there are adverts or places where they need light skin models, which is okay because that is what the client wants. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that, because also they need black models. The light skin models cannot be able to apply
for that.
So no, in the as far as I'm concerned, or up to this point, I haven't been discriminated because of skin color. But I've seen, people with vitiligo, people with the albinos, they are not able to get that chance in the society like the rest of us. That is why I'm bringing them in.
Okay, I think that's very noble of you to do. So as we come to a close, as we close on it, remind us your social handles and maybe your final word that you'd say in a minute. This is your camera.
Thank you so much. Personally, with my personal Instagram, you'll find me as Pamela_Kimathi, Miss Rise and Shine World, Humanity 2024-2025. It's gonna be easy to find me. On Facebook, you'll find me as Pam Mwesh, that is with my first and second name. Still Miss Rise and Shine Humanity. It's gonna be easy for you to find me with those handles. On TikTok, find me at Queen Pam, at Queen Pam 19, still with the same title. You'll find me easily. And on X, Pam_day_model. The same title. It's gonna be easy for you to find me. Then kindly follow P Africa Safaris on Instagram and Facebook, Pam's Africa Safaris fan page. And you can also find the academy as Young Talents Modeling Academy on both Instagram and Facebook. See you there. Contact me for anything, and I'll directly be able to reply to you when it comes to if you have a question about the pageantry or anything else. Reach out to me personally, and I'll be able to help you with that.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Pamela, for coming on board and the amazing insights that you've shared. So that has been Pamela Kimathi, the founder of P Africa Safaris and also the reigning Miss Rise and Shine World Humanity 2024-2025, telling us about her journey and what she's cooking up for you and everyone else who's interested in modeling and the power that it has. So we take a short break on this because Brian Sakwa will be coming with the next interesting conversation. So keep it locked right here.
Y254. Imagine.
Say bye-bye to FOMO, the fear of missing out, by downloading the KBC online app that gives you access to everything you love. Get the latest news, sports, music, entertainment news, live TV, live radio, and so much more at the palm of your hand. To get the app, simply search KBC Mobile Digital App in your Google Play or App Store and download the app. Catch what you want, anytime, anywhere. Stay connected. Stay ahead with KBC Mobile Digital App.
What's up, everybody? Have you heard of Bounce Nation? We are the latest, most turned-up show in 254.
You know how we do each and every Tuesday, Thursday. Mad vibes, mad music. When you see this face, amazing vibes, pure niceness, mad music. Now always kumbuka wewe ndoko in full control.
I'm unavailable. They know they see me.
I go by the name Feeling Jean.
And I am the beat doctor, DJ Epic, straight out of Gas Chamber DJs. You know how we do.
Of course, catch us every single Tuesday and Thursday from 4 p.m. all the way to 7 p.m. for mad energy, good vibes, and interviews and interactions with your favorite celebrities.
This week on The Buzz, we check out on what Arya Star was up to while in Kenya.
Protect my energy from your bad brother. Then my pastor say, everything I desire.
Prezzo has said goodbye to the secular world. Find out why.
Prosper, no enemies, no disaster. When the master blesses comes the faster.
We highlight the life story of actress Gina Ortega. Venom, The Last Dance is finally here, and we have all the highlights.
This world can't survive.
Let's catch up on Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. with Eve Nyaga for all the entertainment news.
Come up my jigger, I go just follow my dream. Shining in the setting sun like a pearl upon the ocean. Come and feel me, oh feel me. Feelun है पीने का मौसम तेरे संग इश्क तारी है.
Here on Power Talk Show, we handle conversations of current affairs that directly affect you. We do a deep dive on conversations that involve relationships, mental health, finances, and other trending issues. We also share stories of people who have faced adversaries and managed to overcome them.
I'm a person who tried committing suicide 3 times. Yes, before I reached class 7.
Tune in to Power Talk each and every Thursday at 7:10 p.m. and join in the conversation with me, Cheryl Blessing, using the hashtag PowerTalk.
Y254. Imagine.
And welcome back. This is literally the last conversation of the day. If you missed the first conversation that Stephanie had, you can just forward a little bit behind and you get to catch up. And also our intro, some of the stories that we covered, you'll definitely find them on Y254 channel _ on the gram. But this is a live stream that's right up live on YouTube, okay? But personally, mine is at Brian Sakono. Yeah, I've not posted anything, but eventually we'll post something. Now, this conversation, I remember yesterday we were talking about combating unemployment, and the two guests who are here, that was Fred and Kevin Bisusu. They're trying to share insights on how our country can come up with self-employment, and this includes restructuring our education system where you're taught how to start, the journey of entrepreneurship. Start something for yourself and literally nurture it so that not only does it just give you an opportunity for you, but it gives opportunity to other people as well. So in short, you're opening doors for others as well. And that literally taps into the world of entrepreneurship and SMEs. SMEs are small and medium enterprises, and it includes, you starting like a Mamamboga business, you starting a hawking business, you can even start a cooking or a home baking business, which is literally a story that's relevant to the guest that I'm about to speak to, right, who is live with me in studio. He is Benjamin Kithome. He has so many titles and so many things that he does, but most importantly, he's a digital communication strategist, or also a digital marketer, plus so many other things. Great to meet you, Benjamin. So just a little story about your journey and how you began and eventually ended up here.
Yes, first of all, thank you so much for hosting me today. It's such an honor being here today. Now, going back to your question, my name is Benjamin Kidhome. I would love to call myself a digital marketing strategist with a strong background when it comes to communication, public relation, and also PR as well. So for the last 6 years, I've been working with different brands ranging from corporates, NGOs, and also SMEs in ensuring these promoting their business in terms of brand visibility and brand growth in the digital marketing space.
Right.
So in a nutshell, that is who I am when it comes to my career. At a personal level, I'm a simple guy who loves to go and get it.
Okay, right. I love the go-getter part because even in yesterday's conversation, one of the guests as he was leaving was saying, show up and show out. That will help you at least get something instead of you just sitting back at home. Now, when you look at your journey, you've worked with so many bodies, so many organizations. This has contributed to your forte, meaning that you've had opportunities, but then you have an interesting business, which is the cookies business. Please tell us about it shortly.
Yeah, so first of all, we have a new cookie in the town. It's called Akamba Cookies.
Right.
This
Why
is
the name Akamba Cookies?
number one, it's when you see an opportunity come your way, you grab it. So I noticed there's a market gap when it comes to something that is relating to a different target audience.
Right.
See, the way we have different vernacular stations having their target audience is a particular vernacular station.
Or a particular community.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So that is what prompted us to call it Akamba Cookies. In the reasoning that we are targeting the Akamba community.
Right.
But again, it will also make another tribe be interested to taste that cookie. So it's just a matter of being creative and unique to ensure that the product stands out from the rest.
Right.
Yeah.
So that means the niche is basically the people from.
Yes, per se. But again,
but you're spreading out to other.
Yes, because actually most of the clients that we've gotten are actually non-Kambas who are really much interested in the cookies.
Right.
Yeah.
So how long have you been in operation since you started?
So I will say better part of October, meaning we're still two weeks old.
Okay.
Trying to also get into the market, tap into the opportunities that come across, and also trying to ensure that the cookies are known as we go by.
Right. But I'm also interested to understand what are the ingredients, because when you're purchasing something, at least, because the ones you've seen even in the supermarkets, they have flavors, There's the chocolate, vanilla, and everything. Though I'm not a big fan, but now that you have it now, I'm a fan, of course. So what are the components and the ingredients that you mashed together into your Akamba Cookies product?
So first of all, we also have different flavors. Because you see, people are also entitled to love. They also have their own perspective on what they love. So we have now like the chocolate chip cookies. The ingredients is all about the chips from chocolate. We also do have vanilla, peanut, and now we've introduced a new one in the market. It's called espresso for the coffee lovers. So you find we've cut across all the different flavors that anybody would want. So our main focus is to ensure that all these flavors that we have, which ones are being liked more, so that we're able to also re-strategize and see which people are interested in as well.
And that has helped you literally establish a sort of a clientele base.
Yes.
So who would you say mainly are the people that buy this product, if you were to say profile it in terms of gender and also maybe age bracket, the most frequent clients or frequent buyers or consumers?
So I will say most is the female gender, but you also get a good amount of the male gender giving us orders as well. And also in terms of age demographics, I will say adult, pre-adults, and also even the kids.
Right.
Those are the kind of people that love these cookies.
Right, and you've established a relationship with them.
Yes.
Now, I want to borrow it from your background, working in the digital space with NGOs. This means that you also have a sort of a platform that you're either using to sell your products here. I want you to maybe also share why is it important for businesses right now to tap into the digital space? Because as we are moving, in fact, was it yesterday or 2 days ago, we were pointing out how I think it's Amazon that's taking away 750,000 jobs, replacing them with robots, yeah?
Yes.
So sending home 100,000 people, meaning that, you know what, in as much as technology, yes, is a good thing, but it's partially raising people in the same space, but then it's a double-edged sword. But then now it's technology. But now the digital space of it, and now you can include AI. So, but now for a small business, this is an SME, small medium enterprise. I want you to share why it's imperative for them to have a digital space where clients visit.
Yeah, that is very true. Digital marketing is of essence in the current space that we are. For you to thrive, for you to be successful in whatever that you're doing, it is very paramount to have a strong digital marketing campaign.
Okay.
So it all comes back to the question, what are you doing on Facebook? How are you selling your product on Instagram? What are your strategies that you're using on TikTok? Because it is, people right now, we are in the digital age, people are switching to the digital times. So it's all about how can you position your brand in a way that people out there could actually reach out to you.
Right.
So for Akamba Cookies, we've done so good in terms of digital marketing. We have very active and vibrant social media accounts.
Yeah. Did you create them from scratch?
Yes.
Like specifically designed,
exactly.
or it was yours transformed into a business?
No.
Because also that can work anyways.
Yes.
Using your personal handle to transform it to a business, yeah?
Yeah.
But it's separate for the cookies now.
Yes, because you see it's a separate entity per se. So we've really established a strong social media presence to ensure that anybody who gets into their social media and such as Akamba Cookies, they're able to find them.
Right.
So I will say digital marketing is of essence, and it's also advisable for brands to take it up.
Right.
Actually, in the corporate world, businesses are investing huge amounts of money into ensuring that their digital marketing is well sorted out.
Right.
So now that one trickles down to also Akamba Cookies to ensure that all our social medias are on the right path.
Yeah. You began your business October this year or last year?
October 2024. So
right.
This
so
year.
So for this short stint you've been in operation,
yes.
I'd like to also know, because it just goes beyond the product. Yes, you're selling cookies, but what, you know? So if I visit the social media profile, because I understand also the personality, I think it was Caroline Talk at some point who was giving a TED talk for that matter, on how your product can really sell in the digital space by just the personality of the product. How does it look, the colors, the branding, the logo and everything. So for you, have you also gone that route of calibrating, let's say, a specific graphics that, you know, are striking and they are relevant to the product, so that when you visit there, you definitely know, or when I see this logo, I know these are Akamba Cookies from Benjamin Githome. Have you also walked that journey of social media presence and the infographics?
Yes. When you set up a business, data is of key, research is of key as well. So for the few weeks you've been in business, you've been collecting information and reviews from potential customers in terms of how the branding is and how the packaging is, because you're not just selling cookies, you're also selling a story behind it. So one thing I would really say we are proud of is the fact that you are getting positive reviews in terms of how we've branded and the quality of packaging, in such a way that anybody that even gets that Akamba cookie package, they're able to say, this is quite a good product.
It's exceptionally packaged.
Exactly.
It has a striking personality, as in it's attractive.
Yes.
Like even when you find it in supermarket, and I pray you get to grow until you're even able to appeal to the rest of the retail shops.
Yes.
When you find it at the shelf, you're like, I'd like to find out what this is, only to check out it's a cookie and then a Akamba cookie. So that would be very impressive, yeah?
Yes. So it also, now just delving deeper into that, if you look at big brands that are there, that have existed in the past, they really go hard when it comes to ensuring that their product stands out in terms of the color, in terms of the appearance, in terms of even its how attractive it is, and that is something we've also picked up from that to also enable us to grow in terms of even the packaging, because we're also looking at introducing very many things as we go by. But for starters, we've gotten positive reviews and feedback.
Yeah.
That is also
What do people say most of the time?
So number one, what we realized is that most people love chocolate chip cookies. That is the most favorite from people.
Okay.
Also number two, we realized that people want more cookies to be added again, Dani. So it's also part of the feedback that you're getting. But in a general kind of, just to sum it up, I would say people are really pleased with this product now that is a new product in the market, and also people are also interested in also trying other flavors. But for chocolate chip cookies, they really stand out.
Have you established maybe or come across other competitors that you've borrowed notes from, or this is like a purely original idea? In fact, you'll say this is my prototype kind of idea. Are there any that you've identified on the market that you'd say, they're doing well, and as much as maybe we don't know about them yet, but here you did your own research and found out here?
We have the big brands in the bread industry having cookies per se, but there is no a brand in Kenya. If there are, maybe I will get more information on that. But you find what Akamba Cookies is doing, you're trying to stand out as a separate entity only for cookies in the market. So I feel like there's a big gap in the cookies industry. A brand that even if I asked you, do you know any cookies brand that stand out on its own, maybe you won't even mention.
Maybe I only say biscuits.
Yes.
Like manji and the
yes.
ginger, and, you know, that one is very common.
Yes.
But cookies are struggle, apart from the ones we know, the ones in a marinette or to konze. You know. But then interesting, now that that has cropped up, what happens to these ones that marinette people take and they lose their mind for a little bit?
Yes, we've gotten that aspect as well. But what I've realized is, you see, we are trying to create a brand. And we are trying to create a positive brand such that even parents are okay with buying cookies for their kids. So also trying to be conservative in terms of what we are doing for the Akamba cookies to ensure that it's a family cookie.
It's consumer for all.
For all, exactly. Thank you. So to ensure that we are not doing it illegally. We're doing it for the purposes of just giving people the snack that they want and the treats that they want.
It's an honest, transparent business. Because I was also wondering, how design easy on a design Yangawapi and how they cook. But then, I'm also interested to know now the baking process. Have you employed people? Because when you start a business, not only are you just giving yourself a chance and an opportunity, probably as you grow, at some point you'll have people come on board, and I know you'll grow and become bigger. So do you have people that are helping you bake, or do you buy already baked and then you transform into something else? Please tell us a story about how they come into fruition.
So, we have someone on board who is a specialty in cookies. You see, even you cannot be a specialty in all areas. You need also people who are specialized in different areas to come on board and grow a certain brand. So we'll say we have someone on board who bakes the cookies for us, and then now we're able to package them and now distribute it to the market. So I will say it's a end-to-end kind of process, whereby we have now the cookie making process. After the cookie making process, we have the packaging process, and it trickles down to the rest and getting it to the market.
And that is happening at a bakery? Or in your homestead?
We are doing it at home, but now we are looking at opening the first shop at one of the suburbs in Nairobi. We are thinking of Pipeline. So that is the next move that we are going to make, opening a physical shop in Pipeline.
So this is a partnership or an individual sole business?
I wouldn't call it a partnership kind of an arrangement. I would call it more of coming together, having the right vision, the same mission to take over the cookies industry.
But this is self-support. I'm a self-supported. You have people that are backing you up, because also the question is, you want to start a business, and the question again is, mnisaidie pesa za biashara, So in as much as you want to start a business, you want capital. You need capital. It's important. And it goes from money and now resources, physical or tangible resources. So initially for you, did you begin with your own savings? Because most of the time it's, I saved 10,000 from I don't know what and what, and here's the business. Or I went to the bank, I looked for a loan, and here's the business. So the journey of that formative year for your business.
Funding is very pivotal when it comes to a business.
Okay.
You cannot start a business without the capital.
Yeah.
So I would say when it comes to funding for Kamba Cookies, it's my own personal savings.
On self-pocket,
yes.
okay.
So whereby now I'm able to have, I've put aside a certain X amount of money that will be able to facilitate the operations of Akamba Cookies.
Yeah.
So I will say it's more of me chipping in terms of all that is needed. And I will say for the few weeks we've been, we've gotten positive reviews and also positive demand. There's a lot of demand of cookies, by the way, in the industry.
In the industry, okay.
That
It's just that people don't know, or maybe they have not yet tested the specific kinds of cookies on the market.
Yes, and then, like I said, you've been only in existence for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So we
that
have
means you're
a
yet
long
to
way
do a
go.
lot. You have a lot to achieve.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but I would say there's a lot of demand when it comes to cookies. People really need cookies. It's like the way there's demand for sausages. You see the way people in town go to sausages and eggs.
And the kachumbari.
There's a lot of demand for that.
And those things are stored in toilets, you know? I think that's what makes them sweeter.
Yeah.
Now you know, by the way.
Yeah.
Usiaitaka kujua. But anyways, now that we've said it. But then also the financial discipline part comes into play, yeah?
Yes.
It means that you had to sacrifice. Because starting a business, unless you are lucky and somebody gifted you and told you, know what, Benjamin, here's $10,000, go start your own business. But if you're solely starting it as a young person who has a dream and a vision of having something meaningful, it means you sacrifice some 1, 2, 3 things. And I think that's maybe partially what a lot of young people don't have, the skill of discipline, which is learned. But anyways, you learned from your mistakes, yeah? Yes. So for you, have you had to walk down that journey or that route of being financially conscious, where you don't have to overspend, you have to cut out some expenditures, you have to cut out some friendships, because as well, they say your friends, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are, yeah? Yes. So have you walked that route of financial discipline?
So I would say I've been fortunate enough. When after I finished campus, I've gotten good jobs. Yeah. So I've been majorly into employment. Yeah. But again, also being in employment, you also get to learn your way in terms of how savings are done. You need to how you need to spend your money, how you need to be, all the financial aspect of managing money. All that aspect you're able to also indulge yourself in. So I would say being in employment and also having the right people, being surrounded with the right elements of people and different financial advisors has enabled me to be very cautious when it comes to money spending and money, basically how to manage money. So that is what has enabled me to also get the savings that I wanted to now start and run a business.
I think at some point on this show we've covered stories about, I think the question was, do you attract money? Is money attracted to you? Do you chase money, or is money running away from you? So things to do with money. But then also that teaches us about the savings culture. Yes. I remember I was speaking to one of the guests. He was telling me that we should start giving money to children as early as they say mama and baba. The first thing is mpe hapo pesa, yeah? So that they get to interact with money, because money just doesn't come, you attract it. And in fact, the guest I had 2 weeks ago told me, wealth and money is a mindset. So you can have a poverty mindset, but you have physical money, but you don't have the ability to multiply it, yeah? So interesting things. But now when it comes to the Kenyan saving culture right here, somebody would say, hey, mi sikuwahi funza kuhusu stories of savings, but yet the other day you were given 250,000, you've already splashed it into, inexplicable expenditures. So if you were to advise young people that are watching right now, the importance of having a self-disciplined savings culture and how it's going to transform their lives, I don't know, what would you tell them?
First of all, we have a lot of books that delve into financial planning, financial management, all money issues. I would really recommend a book called The Secrets of a Millionaire Mind.
I think I've seen that book somewhere on the stores, yeah?
Yeah, if you read that book, it will change your life.
Right.
Because it lets you know that it talks about programming Maybe when you're a childhood, how you're brought up with money. It talks about how you need to delete files in your mind that are not up to how to manage big money. So it gives you the insights on how, as an entrepreneur at a personal level, you need to manage money when you have money, or when you don't have money. What are the narratives that you need to take so that you're able to move from point A to point B? So again, financial literacy is all a decision one has to make, looking at where you are, what you want to achieve, what are your goals, what are your objectives in a given period, where do you want to see yourself in maybe 3, 4, 5 years down the line, so that you're able to take a decision and now change the life that you want.
Yes, and that takes the consciousness of being aware of that part, because you can have everything but you're not aware. So awareness is very, very key. Then still in your personal journey, when you look at the young people that we have, of course right now, I think it's the story that's just ending yesterday, where they're trying to look for opportunities for Kenyans outside country, and these people have documents, some of them have experience, some of them have, studied in higher learning institutions, but yet they're just, lacking in between, would you recommend maybe local authorities to, start having serious, let's say serious grants, like let's have a group of youth from, even now, like you have an initiative. This one is an interesting one, Akamba Cookies. You're tapping into that space from your community. Let's have people like you come on board, and then we offer them grants so that when your business grows, you are literally opening up portals for other young people. So if you want to reach out to, or even also advocate for such to our local authorities right here, would you tell them to, multiply and have such programs? And from your observation, do you feel like we are lacking such?
We already have such initiatives. We have the Youth Fund, we have Uwezo Fund, we have the Women Fund. They are government organizations that are operating even till date. So I will say it's just a matter of using your skills. You see where we are right now, it's not even about the CVs. It's not even about what you did in college, what you did in university. It's not even about that. The world right now is talking about skills. What are you able to do?
What can you do?
What can you do? I saw a recent topic of discussion about photographers in Nairobi City. Those are earning from their skills.
They're literally everywhere. Right now, if you walk under a street, there's people with the equipment.
So that shows you that that person is earning 100 bob, let's say, per photo, but from the skill, which is photography. So it's photography that is feeding them.
Which you can learn it from the University of YouTube.
Yes. Also, you look at talent. Right now we have influencers. That is their skill about influencing a business to ensure that they are known. That is how they are earning. So it's just a matter of, you need to find your niche. What are you good at doing? What is your strength? Because it is your strength that will, that's why even in the Bible, there's a story that says someone was given another coin, another one was given another coin, this is how they use their coin. So God has given, exactly, God has given each and every one of us their paluta kulia. You see, you find like right now what is trending is Ballon d'Or. The guy from Man City won, Rodri. Is winning such an award because of his football talent. So it's
power of the legs.
Exactly.
They always say.
Look at this guy who runs fast. What is his name? Omanyala. Omanyala. He came into the spotlight because of running so fast. That is what is putting food on his table. Eliud Kipchoge, day in, day out, is signing big deals. Don't mention Isuzu, even other.
The Nike and everything. Faith Kipyegon, legendary, iconic.
Exactly. So that proves that with your skills and with your abilities, you can go to an extra mile. It's just a matter of finding what you are good at, trying to ensure that you use what you're good at to move from point A to point B.
But then if you observe our youth ecosystem, there's a lot of, say, discrepancies. There's people who come from, I'll say, minority communities where there's totally no opportunities. and maybe those that have even gone to school as well, there's just something that comes up and they end up being disenfranchised in so many other ways, yeah? So, but when the government now announces such an opportunity where they're taking people to another country, it's an eye-opener, and you'd see even people that had comfort in their background while, you know, schooling, growing up, they're also still scrambling for the same opportunities instead of starting a business. And I'm also borrowing from yesterday's conversation. We are taught traditionally where we come from is you go to school, finish primary, go to high school, go to uni, graduate, get your certificate, look for a job, get married, and maybe die. But then we are reformatting and telling you, go to school, become an innovator, tap into the entrepreneurship space like you're doing, start a business. In that, you'll open up opportunities for other people. So from your observation, do you feel like we lack that skill, even in our education, structure, where you're taught to be totally an entrepreneur and it begins from scratch?
Yeah, so first of all, we all cannot be entrepreneurs.
Okay.
We find others will be successful in different areas, and so on. But what now, jumping into your question, my take would be that it's just a matter of being exposed to the right elements, networking, knowing the right people, and also ensuring that you position yourself whereby there's because right now there's a lot of opportunities. In Kenya, there's a lot of opportunities. I go outside there and I see a lot of opportunities.
You say that and somebody is saying right now, sina kazi, hakuna kazi.
That's what I'm
saying.
So
when you say this,
that's what
it comes off, interesting,
that's what I'm saying. Once you are exposed to the right mentalities and you're exposed to the right people,
or the right community,
exactly, there's nothing that you cannot achieve. For example, if you go to Sarit Center, day in, day out, there are events for electric cars, events for solar energy. Right now, they just concluded their Tours and Travel Expo. So as a person who can be attending those, I'm just giving you nuggets on how you can be exposed to even ideas and all that.
But that means that you're aware and you've aligned yourself, like you said. So I'm trying to imagine a person from the interiors of Northeastern, where even finding a smartphone itself is breakthrough, literally.
You see, I would say everyone has a purpose on their own personal level, because you see there's a purpose that God called you to do, another person there's a purpose God called them to do. So I wouldn't talk about so much. I want to get deeper into maybe even the interior person, but I would say at the end of it all comes to what God has called you to do, and also comes down to who are you networking with, who are you being exposed to, and also you at a personal level. Yes, you are from interior, but do you want to stay in the interior for the rest of your life? Do you want to move to the next 5 years? Do you want to be a different person?
There's communities where they're waiting for literally a savior, somebody to come either from government or a Muzungu from Mayolo to land there. And from there, maybe they'll experience breakthrough. Because also when they look at what we are going through right now politically, it's not favorable, but anyway, story for another day. But I want us to shift this conversation. I was watching, I think it was one of the shows, There's this lady who came up with, I think there's a way she calibrated the Kenyan tea. It's coffee, She made it in her own brand name, and it's doing well, I think in Atlanta, But then she was given a good amount of money. It was in a competition. It was in an entrepreneurship competition, But when we switch this conversation to this country, if we had shows that were teaching, I think way back we used to have, was it called Lionsgate or
Lionsgate?
Yes, such shows are literally an inspiration to people that have dreams and visions of becoming, serious entrepreneurs, competitive entrepreneurs, And then most of them are given, grants after you finish competition and your business idea is really marketable. Why not? Why can't you get the funding? Do you also believe maybe young entrepreneurs right in this country, they need to be incentivized by, being given grants, people believing in the ideas? Let's have competitions where pitch your idea, you have the Akamba cookies. I'm a millionaire. Can I invest something in it so that we grow it and become a household business? Do you believe there's need for such?
Actually, such initiatives exist, especially in the climate world. I have someone who got a lot of good funding, and right now is doing good work, because they received a lot of funding for the idea. So the initiatives are there. We have funds in Kenya that are giving entrepreneurs. We have Core Ventures. Core Ventures is a platform whereby the entrepreneurs come showcase their ideas, and then they're able to be given funding. So those initiatives are there. So it's just a matter of entrepreneurs being exposed, and also the youths being exposed to them, creating more awareness, more sensitization about these programs, so that they could possibly subscribe, go pitch their proposal, and maybe get funding. So it's just a matter of being, like I said, being exposed. We're in the digital age, make use of the digital platforms to learn more about what is happening out there, read newspapers. They give a lot of information about
use social media.
Yes.
I love the fact that your business is on TikTok. You know, you're selling cookies on TikTok. You're almost everywhere, right?
Yeah. So it's just a matter of trying to actualize every opportunity that comes your way, and ensuring that at the end of it all, you're able to stand in a position that people are able to see what you are doing.
Yeah, and I'd also like to pick your mindset and your experience from, you've done a lot of, or you've worked with the NGOs as well, including the government agencies or institutions. If you were to use your filter of observation, what did you observe as the missing gaps, especially in the youth ecosystem right here in Kenya?
So I feel number one is information. They say information is power, very true. Once you're exposed to the right information, you're able to do anything. So I would say one of the things, the missing gaps or the missing links, it's about information. Actually, most youths don't know that youth fund exists. Most youths don't know that right now AI has come and has changed the whole narrative. Most youths don't know that you can actually sell products here in Kenya, buy products from China, come and sell them here, and still gain profits at the top of your phone.
And flourish.
Exactly.
And flourish,
yes. And you find people are doing so well on the online platforms. Software engineers are going home with big checks at home.
Developers and people who are doing coding.
Data scientists and all that. They're earning a lot of money.
The cyber security space.
People don't know there's a whole website for remote jobs. You can just work home with your laptop at night, and in the morning you've gotten 300,000. You've made a check of 300,000, just like that.
Kufinya to computer. With a presidential cell.
Exactly. So there's a lot of opportunities out there. If you are smart upstairs, you're able to actualize them and also grow to the next level. So I would say information is what is really lagging many people behind, because once you're informed, once you know this is what is happening, you're able also to take the right steps to ensure that you move from point A to point B.
Yeah, but then you must also be willing, because as people would say, sisi sasa hatutaki mambo ya technology,
God helps those who help themselves. So it's just a matter of you taking the initiative of also educating yourself. That's why you say learning does not end in campus. You have to every day learn something new. That's the challenge I give people. Every day make sure you learn something new. Because once you learn something new, you will not be who you are yesterday. For example, today yesterday if you did not know how to drive, and today you know how to drive, those are two different
skills you learned. But then also you learn the skills so that you're able to transfer to the skills. I was filling in a certain form, and it was like, yes, you filled in your competencies, but please fill in transferable skills that you've learned as a person who is talented or in operations that you can make another person learn. You know, and your mind goes blank kidogo, and you're like, is discipline transferable? Networking, yes, that's a skill, because you need to be eloquent and have public speaking skills. So at least you can teach a community how to, how to express themselves and pitch the idea. So transferable skills. But then still in your space, in these forums that I think where young people meet and they pitch their ideas. The other day we had Gen Z's meeting to, I don't know, decipher if they should be in a party or remain tribeless or not. Do you believe young people at this season right now, because we are speaking of over, I think it's 3,000. I saw 20,000 people turned up at KICC to look for the jobs. In fact, they're saying as of today, I don't know how many are going to be taken, and they need money to process even the flights and everything. So do you believe it's time that we now start even spreading awareness on digital platforms? If you know you have a business idea, share it with your friend. If you know it's something that a community can support and give others opportunity, it's time for people to start, venturing into such places. Do you believe this is just in the nick of time as we grapple with this unemployment crisis?
Yes, I believe so. And also the fact that actually we have platforms that educate youths on different ideologies in terms of business-wise, also platforms that educate youths on the opportunities that you can tap on and all that. So I would say it's just a matter of youth trying to, you see also the way we have, you hear these people do, what is this called? Forgetting the name. But it's just a matter of the right people, the people who have succeeded on a particular area. For example, if you succeeded into shipping business, trying to mentor the people who want to also get into the shipping. I have someone who's doing so well in the construction industry. And he's
as a construction worker or supplier?
No. He supplies construction materials. Yes, like
that's a big venture.
Yes. And he told me, Benjamin, people are making a lot of millions in this Nairobi, are actually people in the construction industry. And he told me he's looking into mentoring youths to also get into the construction industry. So if we can have these changes in the game, creating platforms whereby they're able to mentor, empower, teach, educate entrepreneurs who also want to be successful in that. Okay, not like the interview just that ended. So you're also on that line, also inspiring models to also be on the same platform. So I would say just a matter of finding what you want to venture into, looking at who is successful in those areas. Also, right now, for example, if you want to be like Bill Gates, you can follow him on social media. See what
Elon
he's
Musk
doing.
is literally, he's doing a lot. He's doing God's work with satellites almost everyone,
So you're able
access.
to follow them, learn their tips, learn what is making them be successful, their do's and their don'ts, so that you're also able to nurture yourself and also nurture yourself from different environments and able to grow.
Lastly, before we close it up, I was watching the interview. One of the bites was saying, one of the guys in the interview was saying, "Hakuna kazi bwana, hakuna kazi Kenya." But when you're seated here and you're saying kuna kazi and you need to be exposed, and this is a person who graduated 5 years ago, they have the certificate, but then maybe they don't have practical skills. They have the certificate. Please go ahead.
Do you know Gikomba has a lot of multi-millionaires? People who just sit down and sell clothes when they are seated. They look dirty, right? But they are multi-millionaires. There's a lady who sells ngwashe at Ngara, hapo chini. That lady has constructed homes and she's also driving good cars. But when you see them, they look dirty. My point is, it's
this
not
Mama Wangara, the one who was arrested just...
No, she was selling ngwashe. Ngwashe, the one, so no, not the other one. So I'm saying...
Because that business is also lucrative.
No, I'm saying ngwashe.
Right.
So what my point is, it's not, I feel like we were lied to. That you have to go to primary, go to secondary, go to university and go and get an office job. It's not that. The dirty jobs that people ignore. I was asking someone in Gikomba and asked them who are earning a lot of money in Gikomba. They told me the people who, when you're napiga pasi at 5 bob, just one cloth 5 bob. Take at the end of the day they make almost 4,000. Just piga pasi. So
at the end of the day, that's some good money.
So what I'm trying to say is, it's not about office work. You see, actually, it's about these jobs that are people ignore. Yes, you graduated 5 years with the software engineering. but you want to be employed in an office. Yet you can start maybe even selling food.
Coding business,
yes,
you know.
and then even grow.
Start teaching people coding.
So I would say it's just a matter of
exposure
and the mentality, and also kazi ni kazi. Whatever comes your way, do it. Whatever you think you can thrive, go ahead and do it.
But sasa pia mtu hataki makucha zake zikatike bana.
Now you remain to be where you are.
Mimi nimepaka gloss ya makucha. Unataka nishike matope bana.
Yeah. But the thing is, it's just a matter of you as a person making the decision
of what you want.
Yeah.
All right, but innovation is really helping with technology. I think you've talked about that a lot. So I want you to share, as we close it up, before you share how people can get to support you and get to purchase your cookies and everything. The greatest lesson you've learned in your experience working for those other organizations and now venturing into business. And also maybe, where do you see this business going? You know?
Yeah. So I would say networking is important. Because networking exposes you to valuable contacts that are able to make you grow and also achieve a lot of success. So one thing I've realized is networking is of key, because once you have the right people, the right contacts, you're able to achieve many things that you would not have achieved when you didn't have those contacts. Also, we'll see Akamba Cookies. I want it to be a household name. We're looking at growing it into a locally homegrown Kenyan brand that people relate to. And who knows, the vision is to get also into Africa, whereby also people in Botswana there's a tribe in Nairobi called Akamba, but they have cookies. Can you test them? So how do you get to Malawi? How do you get to Zambia? So also that is also
growing and scaling.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
But for now it will be more of growing it into a household name, ensuring that
you're able to capture the local, target audience right here. Sama, tell people where they can plug in, buy or purchase the cookies. Is their website? Is their number? Everything. This is your camera.
Our website is finishing, so it will be up in a few weeks to come. We're on social media: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at Akamba Cookies. Just drop us a text. We're able to respond back to you. Your inquiries, your comments, your feedback would be highly appreciated. When you're ordering cookies, there's a number on our platforms. You're able to just order the cookies and you're able to get them. Keep on supporting us and everything will be okay.
Right, thank you.
Yes.
Zile za kumarinate watu zinakuanga gani?
Hizo sijui.
Oh, thanks. You've answered really fast. But thank you so much, Benjamin Kitolme, for sharing your insights on how to successfully walk the journey of nurturing an SME from your experience, right? Thank you so much. And we also say thank you on behalf of everyone behind the scenes, from Stephanie and everybody else. Thank you so much for trailblazing with us from 7 a.m. till right now. It's exactly 9:58, 9:59 now. Thank you so much. We'll definitely see you tomorrow right here, bright and early.
Say bye-bye to FOMO, the fear of missing out, by downloading the KBC online app that gives you access to everything you love. Get the latest news, sports, music, entertainment news, live TV, live radio, and so much more at the palm of your hands. To get the app, simply search KBC Mobile Digital App in your Google Play or App Store